Hello, I'm Hansa Parchment. You're watching Talawa TV with Crystal Davis.
I think the uniqueness of the Reggae Girlz is they embody the national motto of Jamaica, which is out of many one people. So when you look at the entirety of the Jamaica squad, you have dark-skinned girls, mixed-race girls, girls who have black and Asian in them. You also have the homegrown players, so like your Bunny Shaw, your Konya Plummer, your Denden Blackwood. So what that means in terms of from a grassroots perspective is girls who are born in Jamaica can look at a Bunny Shaw and hear that authentic accent and say, you know, if Bunny can make it, then so can I. Once you hear that authenticity, that raw Jamaican accent, they should be able to look at a Bunny Shaw who's now our captain to say, if Bunny can do it, especially if you come from the same community, the same parish as her, if she can do it, then so can we.
It's great to be here. I know that you're probably the biggest supporters of the Reggae Girlz. So what you do and the message that you spread for the girls, it's really appreciated.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Crystal, I gotta give it to her. I've heard a lot of guys say she's the reason why they start off to watch female football. And so that's one of the reasons why I'm pushing her out there to keep on doing your thing. Don't get discouraged. You have a band of brothers behind you. And what we try to do is to get female who think like you know, in the game. Right, Siobhan?
Yeah,
so enough respect to you, Crystal, and keep fighting.
Yeah, because as you mentioned, a lot of persons, because I think the Reggae Girlz has been the most successful team in our football, and I think that was underrated. So what you've done for the local aspect of Jamaicans, you've brought that sense of admiration to the persons know that, hey, it's not just the boys, the females as well. The females have the love as well. And honestly, if it wasn't for someone like you, Crystal, the YouTube space would just be crowded with the Reggae Boyz, Reggae Boyz, Reggae Boyz.
Yeah. So we do, you know, we have lots of respect.
You know, so I could touch base with her again at some point and see if she's up for an interview. But she did say yes before. It's just that I recognize that at the time there must have been a lot that she was going through, hence not pushing and asking for the interview. But I think it can be done.
Sorry to interject here, but you know, I must take this moment out to say thank you. You are such a being. You don't only look out selfishly for yourself. And as a broadcasting journalist as I am, and for the 40 odd years that I'm in the business, we when we're going after that story, we tend not to give hoots about what pains or atrocities it may cause when hunting that story. And so it takes a man and a woman who shares the pain of others to really look into it and say, no, you know what, by me pushing I can cause or create certain pain, and I wouldn't want that, so let me ease back a bit. It takes it because you see, we can get lost in the realm of collecting and dispensing information. You know, we can get caught up in that, you know, just to make a headline, just to get the notes out there. And I applaud you for using this kind of foresight to look deep in it and say, you know what, she may be in a spot. You're not saying she was in a spot. She may be in a spot. So let me take a step back and allow time to process this thing. So I raise my hat to you, you know, for that. You're a stalwart, and I entrust and I hope and pray that you'll continue in this vein, because you are the creme de la creme, and no one can take your spot. Just remember that. No one can take your spot. Others will come and try to do, and others may label them as doing better than, but there's no one can take that first place from you. He's always first and will always be first.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
That's the blunder. That is, I can't even say Spursy. I heard someone said something. I'm going to redo that intro. I heard someone say Unitedy. because United were silly enough to let Spurs beat them to the Europa League. Yes, I'm on to you. So that was very United-y. I literally started my live stream and my microphone was muted. I think it's because I touched my mic just before I went live. So my apologies. Let's give that another spin. Good afternoon, good evening, possibly good morning. All depends on where you are in the world. Welcome back to another live stream. Let me know how you guys are doing there in the comments section, my followers. You know what? Who can guess what's in my cup? What tea am I drinking, guys? And look at this. One of my favorite content creators ever. People, I didn't do it right. I'm trying. That's Mr. Deluded, by the way, guys. Check out his content. You can see on the screen, Deluded Guna for all things Arsenal and also other teams' football content as well. We're going into the summer. We're actually in the summer, first half of the summer transfer window. So do keep your eyes on his channel. I am pretty sure he's got those top class content coming your way. All right. Listen, I had to, man. It's that was very United of me. What picking? I hope you are in good health. DG, I hope you're in good health. All the guys who are silently watching, please interact with the comment section. I don't bite. I've never beaten anyone in my life and I'm not about to start. So drop a comment in the comment section for me. Keep the conversation going. I don't know about DG, but for me, I find it so weird, even after doing this for years, talking to a screen. I'm my best. You're going to get the best out of me if you get friendly with the comment section. All right. So let's try to keep my energy going and get active. Cersei, you are nowhere near it. I like Cersei. I think, you know, the older I got, the older I'm getting is the more I can appreciate Cersei. Didn't like Cersei growing up though. Hated it. What kid likes Cersei? Like, be real. Lime leaf tea. I think I've told you guys that's one of my favorite, but no, you haven't. Basically, I'm drinking this because it's apparently supposed to help me drift off into a good sleep when I'm done. So can you guys guess what's in my cup? Guppy said thirsty, nowhere near it. Runners, hello, my friends. I think you're a Chelsea fan, if I'm not mistaken. So congratulations on your trophy. You already solidified Champions League football, topped off your season with a trophy in the bag. Can't be mad at it. Rockford, I hope you are in good health there, Rockford. Big up yourself. Mr. Ballin, who are you, Mr. Ballin? I hope you're in good health. Mr. Ballin said fever grass. No. You see, now here's a man that listens with his ears. I said drift me off into the night, guys. I'm pretty sure I said that. Apologies if I didn't. Very United-y of me. Yes, I think it's pronounced chamomile. I think some people say chamomile, but I think it's pronounced either or. I think I say chamomile. So what's in my cup? I'm drinking chamomile, lemon balm, and also lavender. And the first time I drank this, guys, I was fighting not to fall asleep, which defeats the purpose. The purpose is to help me go to sleep. And I was playing stubborn. I was like, you will not win. So yeah, if you're having trouble trying to unwind and, you know, get your beauty sleep, chamomile, I hope I'm pronouncing that one right, lemon balm, and also lavender. That's my go-to drink right now. So I'm sorry that I'm sipping on it. Obviously, it's almost it is quarter to 12 a.m. So my apologies, all right? So, guys, what's on the dinner menu? Before I get started, I have a gripe. You guys want to hear my gripe? I've got a bone. I'm going to pick a bone with someone. I'm going to be picking a bone with Mr. Ryan LFC. I'm sure you know who my brother is over on Elite Sports TV. Big up yourself, Mr. Jackson. But I'm going to pick a gripe with him. Maybe not right now, but most certainly before I close off on the show. I've got a little gripe. I'm going to have to get it off my chest, guys. So let me know in the comment section what's on everyone's dinner menu. My dinner menu kept it very simple today, the traditional rice and peas and French fried chicken, because it was just nice and easy and I'm not trying to complicate things. So that was good. And I topped it off with, what did I have for dessert? You guys are probably going to think I'm greedy, but I had a Magnum ice cream and I also had bread and butter pudding. So that is what I did with my dessert. I don't know if you guys think that's greedy a bit too much, but that is how I was looking today. You know how it goes. If you're making your way home from work, I do hope that you make it home safe and unharmed, because walking through your door is a underrated blessing. If you are out and about, do take care of yourself, take care of your loved ones. Can you guys hear my background, by the way? If you can hear my background, why didn't you guys tell me? I think you might be able to hear my background, and we don't really want that. So let's see if we can get that sorted out, because the last thing I want, I've got another YouTuber in the background, by the way. The last thing I want is to get flagged for a copyright violation. So hold on, guys. Let me go and see if I can how am I gonna do this? Let me see if I can get rid of this sound. 1 second, guys. I'm not gonna lie, it's very united of me. I'm butchering this one. So bear with me, guys. Okay, so you shouldn't be able to hear my TV. I'm gonna turn it up just a little bit, but yeah, I think that's fine. Let me know if you can hear the TV, guys. Mr. Ryan LFC, I've definitely got a bone to pick with you. You've given me a little gripe, and I gotta get that off my chest. Gotta get it out my system. You heard what the man said, guys. Please hit the like button. He said he's gonna join the show in 10 minutes, which is a surprise to me, because he was completely shattered. Today's supposed to be his rest day. So actually I'm pleasantly pleased to hear that. Also, Mr. Balin is on grandpa duties, right? He's on grandpa duties, but he did say that he will swing by the show. And Mr. Stevens, if you're listening, I told Mr. Balin that you're in sunny Jamaica. So if I have gotten that wrong, I do apologize. If you're making your way back home from Jamaica, I do hope that you and your family have a safe flight, a safe landing, okay? Jordan, big up yourself, Jordan. I hope you're in good health. DNA Football, big up yourself. Guys, please do subscribe to Jordan and also DNA Football. I don't think this man needs plug-in. Elite Sports TV, big in the game like EA Sports. But if you're not familiar with his channel, do get yourself familiar with it, especially as we're now diving into those World Cup qualifiers. And that is obviously the purpose of tonight's live stream. I'm going to be talking to you guys about the World Cup, FIFA Men's 2026 World Cup, and qualifying for the FIFA 2026 World Cup, guys. Absolute master myself, and I'm going to get into that, but I think I might have to just hold my horses and potentially wait for either Ryan to jump on the stream or Mr. Balin, because I don't really want to repeat myself. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna maybe just slow it down just a little bit. I hope you guys don't mind me sipping on my tea. I'm gonna slow it down just a little bit. I might turn on a shared screen, because I think it makes sense to do so. And I think we should probably look at the Unity Cup. I think we should probably talk about the Unity Cup briefly, and then segue into the World Cup chat, right? I think that makes sense. Let me see if I can find my shared screen. You should be able to see this one on the screen in front of you, right? Let me just go and double check. Yes, you can. You know what? Our Biz, I hope you're in good health, but when I'm about to say something, and as I was like giving it some thought, because I was actually going to call into Ryan's show, and I was like, I'm going to say something, and Ryan lives in Canada. Before that, obviously lived in Jamaica. So what I was going to say on his channel, I'm like, he's not going to believe me, but if he wants to fact check, he can go ahead and speak to Biz or speak to JT. I've got JT, not the other content creator, one of my subscribers called JT, and he could potentially fact check that with those guys, right? So I'm going to say something, and some of you are probably going to be like, no, that can't be true, right? So listen with your ears, guys. Don't try to listen if nothing else. It's not going to work. So first and foremost, I want to know what you guys think of the Unity Cup. My big question for you guys there in the comment section. Let me know who was your player of the tournament. So, okay, if you want to give me your man of the match over both games, so against Trinidad and Tobago and Nigeria, that's great. But more importantly, I want to know who was your player of the tournament. All right. So I'm going to keep that screen. I'm going to leave that on my screen for you guys because I'm looking at it. I'm taking my eyes away from the main comment section. So if you drop something in the comment section, I probably won't be responding just yet because I can't see it. Trust that I'm not trying to ignore you guys. All right. So Unity Cup, guys, from me, quick summary. I'm sure you guys have all been caught up with, you know, how this one pan out, beating Trinidad and Tobago 3-2. That was in the first game, and obviously that meant that we qualified for the finals. And unfortunately, we fell at a very small hurdle. Nigeria beating us 5-4 on penalties. Full-time score on that occasion was 2-all, right? So you can see there 3-2 victory against Trinidad and Tobago. And in the final, to reiterate, full-time score was 2-all. Subsequently, we lost 5-4 on penalties. But for me, overall, I don't want to be the negative Nancy. So let's try and keep it positive and as realistic as possible. I think for me, this was, and I'm talking about context because obviously, with the greatest of respect to those guys, they are seen as a makeshift team, not to be disrespectful or anything. So essentially, the plan B, not your plan A, your plan B makeshift squad, right? Again, not to be disrespectful, but saying that, they probably have put in a number of performances as individuals and as a collective that should potentially make the guys who make up the numbers for the first team have a few worries in the back of their mind. Because for me, I don't know how you guys feel, but over those two games there against Trinidad and Tobago and Nigeria, I felt that, to be honest with you, that was a spirited performance from the guys. I think they gave themselves a great deal of they also showed respect to the fans, and subsequently in doing so showed respect to their hats off to the gaffer Steve McLaren, respect to McLaren again for, you know, putting together a team that reflects what the nation wants. And for us, of course, they're not flawless. There is some areas there that needs to be improved. And even if it was the A team, I still think that we can find those areas of improvement. So as I said, it wasn't a flawless performance either between Trinidad and Tobago or Nigeria, but there's, I think, plenty of positives there to where we can look back at those two games and say, you know what, fair play. 5-4 on penalties is not that bad, is it? Obviously would have loved to have lifted the trophy, but at the end of the day, for me, penalties is 50-50. It's either going to be us or them. And unfortunately for us, it was the Super Eagles. I don't really think it can be too downbeat about that. And for me, again, goes back to me saying it was a spirited performance. Not used to seeing these type of spirited performances from the Reggae Boyz, irrespective of whether it's plan A or plan B. And I think that's what you want. That's what we want. I can't speak for the entire fan base, but for me, all I want is for you to go out there and play like men. I just want you to play for the black, gold, and green. I want you to show something about you, show some desire, show some self-respect. And I think the guys did that. I don't know what you guys make of what I'm saying. Sorry, I just got a message from Ryan. Let's see what he's saying, guys. I think I will join. How am I gonna do this? Okay, it's really, one moment, guys. I need to send Ryan something. Hopefully I won't forget what I'm saying to you guys. Just bear with me, okay? In the meantime, yeah, tell me what you guys make of the game. I'm trying to send something, but I'm being so I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Okay, let me drop it. I'm gonna drop it in the comment section. All right, Ryan, I'm gonna drop the link in the comment section. So here is the link to the live stream, and that's for anyone who wants to jump on the stream, I should say. My only rule, guys, just please be respectful. Please don't insult no one, be it in the comment section. I don't expect you to insult myself or any potential guests, and most certainly don't insult the players, the backroom staff, or whoever, another content creator. Let's just be nice, okay? So yeah, going back to what I was saying about the the Unity Cup, I think good spirited performance. Pretty pleased with what I've seen. Now, this is what I wanted to touch on. And like I said, I was going to call into Ryan Sher, but he saved himself with a number of things, especially with my player of the tournament. Now, this game against Nigeria, for a lot of you who are living elsewhere across the diaspora, so be it the United States, Canada, or maybe back home in Jamaica. I don't know if you guys know, but there is, I'm sure I've said this already, there is a rivalry between, and this is what I'm saying, you can fact check that. DG was listening earlier on. DG probably back me up on this. Biz will back me up on this, I think, and potentially JT. And I'm saying those guys because they obviously live in the UK, but this is for me a rivalry match. And I'm saying that, and maybe it's a UK thing because I don't see this rivalry elsewhere. So again, I'm going to sound like a bit of a broken record because I have said this on my channel before. Growing up, obviously moving to the UK, spending the majority of my school years there, growing up in London, it was a thing. Like back in school days, it was a thing where it was Africans versus Caribbeans. But the joke in all of that is the Caribbeans meant Jamaica. And I don't really need to tell you the reason why, but it was just Jamaica as an island fighting for our dear lives. And I've told you guys about this, about, people will come at me with all their footballers, and the only ones I had in my corner was Ricardo Fuller or Ricardo Gardner, and they were the nicest thing since Aldo bread for me. You couldn't tell me nothing with your Eto and your Yaya Torre and your Colo Torre. I'm just not trying to hear it. I'm gonna back my own. So this rivalry, this game, the Unity Cup fixture against Nigeria, that was a big game, massive game. Bragging rights on the cards, bragging rights on the table, basically for what I've just said. Back in my school days, there was a potent, I'm not sure if it still exists now, I hope that it doesn't, but there was a potent dislike between Jamaicans and Nigerians. Of course you would have like the playful banter here and there, but you would have times where people would go below the belt. So they would go below the belt and they would say little nasty comments. And it's not a one-way thing, it's a two-way thing. People would say nasty comments to each other. And one of the things, for example, they would make fun of the Caribbeans stroke Jamaican kids will say, we don't know our dads, and we don't know our fathers, dads don't live with us, blah, blah, blah. And then they might get with a you stink, you smell comments. So people will go below the belt. It could at times get nasty. But that's how it used to be back in school. Like I said, I hope it's not like that now. I hope it's a bit more, everything's a bit more crisp now, but that's a rivalry match. I don't know if anyone picked up on that. Again, perhaps not, because maybe in Canada or the USA things are a little bit less potent, and maybe that just don't exist. You know what? I think I've answered my own question, because I find that Black Brits, I'm so sorry if I'm going to insult anyone. It's not my intention. Based on my experience being around different people, I feel like Black Brits are more proud of their heritage than the guys across the pond, right? Because I kind of feel like Black Brits, they know who they are. Like, they're so proud of their heritage, whether it's saying they're Jamaican, British, or British Jamaican, British Bajan, British, St. Lucian, British Trinidadian. They're so, British Nigerian, British Ghanaian, the list goes on. They're very proud of their heritage. So perhaps I've answered my own question, that you don't see that tug of war between Africans and Caribbeans, Jamaicans, Nigerians versus Jamaicans. Probably don't see it elsewhere, but I thought that was something that perhaps should have been touched on. I can only apologize. Maybe I should have jumped onto Ryan's stream and shared that with you guys. So yeah, I was thinking of Biz. I was just like, I'm gonna bring this to Ryan's show, but he's not gonna believe me. Biz will probably have to send back me up on that. All right, guys, let me just pause for a second. I'm gonna send something to myself so that I can send the link to Ryan's phone. All right, so just hold on 1 second. Let me just go into my emails. Just bear with me 1 second. Let me have a sip of my tea. I need to hurry up with that because it's getting cold now. Who drinks cold tea? It defeats the purpose. Oh no, I haven't bust no gas. Okay, let me just copy this and send it over to Ryan. And I'm gonna say again, I need you guys to give me some suggestions for my live streams, right? My last live stream, that was one of my subscriber, DC. She basically mentioned Sedella Marley vaguely in the comment section, and instantly a light bulb went off. And I spoke about Sedella Marley alongside Ryan. That's Mr. Elite Sports TV. And in tonight's live stream, my husband gave me this idea several weeks ago. I'm not even going to lie to you. He gave me several weeks ago. He's just like, please talk about the Reggae Boyz and the World Cup. And I was like, okay, I promise I will do it. And I'm only just doing it. So I do apologize to him for that. But saying that, a bit like writer's block, sometimes I can get content creators block. I don't even know if that's a thing or a word or a phrase. I don't know. But yeah, the point I'm trying to say is please work with me. Please drop some comments in the comment section. Let me know if you want me to cover a topic, and I will most certainly do that. Let's just see. So I've sent the link to Ryan for the stream. Let's see what you guys are saying there in the comment section. Marcus, where is Nanny and the rest of the people? Them up, Crystal. Maximum manners and respect every time. I'm proud of the team. I would love to win, but when the team play up to standard, from when the team play up to the standard from where we are coming from, all I can say is, am I reading that wrong? From all I can ask for. Well, yeah, true. That is true. Big up yourself. I hope you are in good health. Good day to yourself, Renata. Hope you are in good health. He says, happy Sunday. Big up the Queen Crystal's Palace. Kind of like that name that you guys have given to me. Thank you. Mr. Jackson, sir, I have sent you the link to the stream. Let me know if it isn't working. As always, right? So I'm kind of losing train of thought, guys. So yeah, I wanted to get that off my chest as it relates to the Unity Cup and that little rivalry that we have between us and Nigeria. I don't even know if it's playful rivalry. Obviously, we don't really play each other in football tournaments unless it's like an invitational game. We're not meeting each other in the World Cup, or we've not met each other in the World Cup. You're probably more than likely to see the Reggae Girlz and the Super Falcons play each other either at the World Cup, at a World Cup, or in a friendly game, right? Like what we saw with the Unity Cup. So let's see. Maverick, good day to yourself. It says, looks like when an English kid reps Jamaica, they do it for real. When I listen to what Crystal says, I believe I noticed the English Jamaican fans are our best fans. They know how to cheer. They really do. They really do. And I'm so proud of them. I don't think, well, it's not possible. There's no way we could make, unless there's a war going on in the Caribbean or Jamaica, God forbid, and people can't travel to Jamaica, and then they say, okay, England is your home for the next how many, I don't know, games, blah, blah, blah. But from what I understand, unless it's a friendly, you can't necessarily play competitive games in another country and with the idea of that country being your home country. So I know some of you like the idea of Jamaica playing more games in the UK, but I think that can only be done in friendlies. I don't believe you can see that in World Cup qualifiers, and it shouldn't be a thing, really and truly. It just means that we have work to be done. Like when it comes to playing football at home on home soil, we have work to do. It's different. It's a different culture. It's a different culture. It is kind of, it shouldn't be complicated for Jamaican football fans back home to come up with let's say a few songs for the players, like, because that's what we're about as people, as culture. We're about vibes. That should not be complicated, but it's not the Jamaica way of doing things. Maybe things might change, and things changing probably starts from new media, us new media. Let me just send a message quickly. Have you guys hit the like button, by the way? I said I was only gonna stream for 30 minutes, and look at me just waffling for 30 minutes straight. It just means I'm gonna go over my time because I've obviously not even gotten down to the meat of the matter. Meat of the matter tonight, I'm sure you guys have seen the thumbnail and you would have seen the title as well. World Cup 2026 is a must. Let me know what you guys make of that. How you guys feeling? Think, guys, and I don't want to read too much into it. People are going to say, oh, it's a weak Nigeria team. It's only Trinidad and Tobago. I don't really like when people say that because you can only play who's in front of you. And I'm not going to sit here and make excuses for the boys and say, oh, you know, they played a B team Nigeria or they only had a B team for Jamaica. I'm not really going to get into all of that because I think it's completely unnecessary. You can only play who is in front of you. So if it's Nigeria, it's Nigeria. If it's Trinidad and Tobago, it's Trinidad and Tobago. If it's USA, Mexico, you get the gist. You can only play who is in front of you, right? But I think after what I saw, again, I'm trying not to get carried away. After what I saw in the Unity Cup, those two games there, you can see on the screen in front of you, I'm starting to get a little bit don't think maybe excited is maybe not the right word to use, but I'm starting to feel different. There's a different feeling there for sure, right? So I've asked you guys who's your player of the tournament. So before I segue into the World Cup chat, I want to know who was your tournament? Who was your player of the Unity Cup? Tell me who your player was, or if I make it easier for you guys, which I shouldn't, who was your man of the match over those two games? I want to hear from you guys. I want to know who your player of the tournament was. It says, Marcus says, we are a dancehall reggae music. We should not be sure. Exactly. And I'm going to leave that comment on the screen for a brief period. So my player of the tournament shouldn't be a surprise because, hold on, guys. And that's now disgusting. It's gotten cold. My fault. What was I saying? So, player of the tournament. Pick up yourself, RR. Can see you in the comment section. I would say my player of the, if we did play bad, they would say we can't. We cannot please our people. So my player of the tournament, I don't think this should be a surprise. Maybe some of you are going to shoot me down for this one, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys and girls, but it has to be Ronaldo Cephas. And it will be interesting to see who can go against that because I don't really think that your argument would hold water. I don't see how you can go against that one. So if we backtrack, looking at those goals on screen, I'm gonna have to change mines quickly. You can see again, to reiterate what's been said, 3 goals against Trinidad and Tobago, 2 against Nigeria. So that's 5 goals scored within full time, normal time of play, right? And if you go back and watch those goals, you will see that Ronaldo Cephas had a direct involvement in all 5 of those goals. So it's either he created the assists or he contributed to the assists being created. So passing the ball to the player who then created the assists, right? So that's a 5-goal involvement. But what I liked about, of course, we can say that, you know, he should have found the back of the net. I'm not going to try and, you know, not discuss that because yes, we should have seen perhaps bare minimum 2 goals from him. I think it will come gradually, but in the sense of trying to remain as positive as I can with this team, and most certainly where Ronaldo Cephas is concerned, as I said, 5-goal involvement. That game against Nigeria, though, I think, you know, we should definitely take our hats off to him. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I believe he received a lot of criticism, and I think it was criticism in good faith. I don't think no one's criticized him in bad faith, wanting to break him, etc., etc. I think they said stuff in good faith, right? And going back to what I was saying, that game against Nigeria there, in the run up to the game against Nigeria, we saw the number of criticism that he was receiving. Some people say it's deserved. I'm not here to argue a debate against that. We also saw Popcorn said something in the changing room, and I don't want to lie. I think paraphrasing, he gave him his respect, gave him his flowers, but also said he needed to score a goal or something along those lines, right? And but what I do want to say though is that fair play to Ronaldo Cephas, because in that game against Nigeria, in terms of his performance and his response, in my opinion, be keen to hear what you guys have to say. What I take away from that performance, aside from the obvious 2 assists, and also the fact that I know a lot of people are going to say he still didn't score a goal. Yes, we know that. But my biggest takeaway from his performance is how well he took to criticism. He was quite receptive to criticism. I'm sure he must have heard all the noise left, right, and center. Like I said, Popcorn told him to his face that, you know, politely, we need more from you. And he probably has eyes and ears across new media. Maybe some of his friends and family are tuned into YouTube, so they probably passed on a couple of the messages. Maybe a couple of his friends, a couple of his brethren probably told him, look, next time, you know, do better. Maybe it's not just all black and white has to, you know, put the ball into the back of the net. But for me, sometimes I think he does overcomplicate things. He does I think he goes on an overkill sometimes. And it's just like, I think one of the biggest advice someone gave me once, and every now and then I really do think about it. They said less is more. And that's absolutely true. Sometimes you don't need to overdo it. Like, less is sometimes more. Like, simplicity sometimes does actually work best. And I think that's something that he needs to bring into his game. But again, reiterating what I've already said with Ronaldo Cephas, for me, biggest takeaway, how well he responded to criticism. So receptive to criticism, instant impact. And that was not just once, but twice. You know, we saw that he pulled the strings for, I believe it was Dixon's goal, and then also for the second goal. Again, instant impact. And what's so funny with this is, I believe we've been crying out for a player like that. We've been crying out for someone to come in and pull the strings. And dare I say, we do have a player in Ronaldo Cephas. Whether or not it's going to be a case of longevity, I think that remains to be seen. But I think we should definitely be excited. And I wouldn't say necessarily hype him up, because I think that's something that we're guilty of as people. We love to hype up our players. Soon as a player do a salad, is the biggest thing, nicest thing since sourdough bread. And I hate that about us. We love to overhype our players. Not saying that Cephas doesn't deserve to be overhyped. I just don't think it does them a great deal of good when you're overhyping them. Be honest with your assessment. Be fair. So yeah, for me, my player of the tournament, Ronaldo Cephas. I want to know who is you guys' player of the tournament. And I will say this, and some of you probably going to shoot me down. I don't care. I've heard the noise, and now it's time for me to talk. And personally, without Cephas, we would not have played in the final. And that's facts. We would not have played in the final. So for me, Ronaldo Cephas was the man of the match over those 2 games there, Trinidad and Tobago and also Nigeria. And had he found the back of the net, as I said, bare minimum on 2 occasions, I think there's shouts there for him to be the player of the tournament. I can't sit here and say he was the player of the tournament, because I'm not going to lie to you. I unfortunately didn't have the time to watch Ghana versus Nigeria. And unfortunately, I also didn't have time. Time was against me, so I couldn't watch Trinidad and Tobago versus Ghana. So I can't sit here and say he was the player of the tournament. I would love to say that. But like I said, had he found the back of the net, I think we could definitely sit here and say, throw his name into the hat for being the player of the tournament. Let me know what you guys think. Let me see what you guys are saying there in the comment section very briefly. Be careful with these titles, guys. These are tall ask. I've accepted a challenge from Ryan, by the way. Okay, he gave me a challenge and I accepted it. So RR is saying one Dixon. So Kaim Dixon is saying that's his player of the tournament. Brando, I hope I pronounced your name right. He's saying CFAS. Marcus Messiah Garvey, he's also saying CFAS. RR says LOL RC. C20. Okay. Talking about Reggae Girlz. He says Natasha is in camp with the Reggae Girlz. Mr. Conrad Smith, how are you, sir? I hope you're in good health. RR says Elite Sports, you'll never walk alone. 20 up top. Yes, they need to pass more. The goals will come. Yeah, the goals will come. I just think, I can't give this man advice because I've got 2 left foot and I've never played the game. So I can't exactly be giving him advice. When we're going to say, oh, what do you know about football, blah, blah, blah. But my biggest advice to him is just, it's not everyday overkill. Do what you did against Nigeria. Work with the less is more. Simplicity is the best, right? And I think you go a far way. At least we want him to go a far way. Marcus says, remember to smash the like button. Free and easiest way to support the channel. It does not cost you a penny, guys. It doesn't cost you a penny. Smash the like button. Max City, I hope you are in good health. Was any of the Reggae Girlz at the... That's a question that I can't answer. I would love to answer it. Well, I've not seen no content on the Reggae Girlz being at the Unity Cup. Perhaps they were. I don't want to say that they were. Maybe for those girls there who aren't in America and will potentially play a role in the upcoming match against the Lionesses. We have an upcoming match against England's senior women's national team. I believe it's towards the ending of this month, if memory serves me well. And that's going to be at the King Power Stadium. So maybe those girls there who aren't in camp in the USA probably were at the Brentford Stadium over the weekend. A couple players that I did notice, though, off the top of my head. Bobby Reed, he was there, as was Big Heck, Michael Hector. He was also there as well. Pick up yourself, Pristine. I hope you are well. So we're all going with CFAS. It seems like we're all agreeing to CFAS. I know, I think it was RR that said, was it RR that said Dixon? I think RR said Dixon earlier on. Issue we had with CFAS was that he was trying to score when he should have opted to pass. He did that in these games, and we love the results. Yeah, definitely. He has like I said, receptive to criticism, and we want to see more of that. One thing we don't want is these players tapping into insanity, the idea of doing the same thing over and over again and getting the same result and wondering, why am I getting the same result? Well, it's because you're doing the same thing over and over again. That's why. Anne Ramsey, big up yourself, Anne Ramsey. Guys, have you hit the like button? It does not cost you a penny. Please hit the like button. There's about how many of you? 70 of you here. Oh, I apologize. 6 or 7 of you have hit the like button. So 3 of you. The 3 of you who haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button. All right, it does not cost you a penny. Big up yourself. I hope you are in good health. How do I pronounce your name? El Padrino? Did I pronounce that right, or did I butcher it? Might have butchered that. So is it time for us to get into the World Cup chat? Because that is the focus of tonight's live stream. World Cup 2026 is a must. Let me know how you guys feel about the prospect of us qualifying for World Cup 2026. How are you guys feeling? Do you guys feel like we will qualify? Let me know before I continue. Drop some yes or no in the comment section for me, please. Yes. Okay, wonderful. I'm going to change my screen in a quick moment, so go ahead and answer that one for me there, guys. How you guys feeling? You think we're going to qualify for World Cup 2026? By the way, I've not forgotten my little gripe. I've got a bone to pick with Mr. Jackson, and I might leave that one towards the end, right? So let's just go ahead and change the screen quickly, and let's look at some let's look at some World Cup chats. Yeah, that's fine. Lovely stuff. I think I might need to remove my banner as well because I need you guys to see the screen clearly. So, World Cup 2026, how are we looking? Glenroy Stanford, pick up yourself, Glenroy. I hope you are in good health. Max City says yes, as long as the coach picked the right players. I think we're both singing from the same hymn sheet there, Max City. And Glenroy is saying yes. So it seems like we're singing from the same hymn sheet there, guys. All right, so let me share my thoughts with you guys, and then maybe you guys could let me know what you think, right? El Padrino says will be at the World Cup, one Jamaica. All right. So basically, he's either in the USA, Canada, or Mexico. El Padrino he's already there, guys, and either one of those host nations, and he's probably at the airport. He's at the airport looking at his suitcase, going around on the conveyor belt and just waiting to pick up his suitcase. So that being said, Reggae Boyz, do not disappoint him, because if you don't qualify for the World Cup, you're going to have to reimburse the man. The man is already either at USA, Canada, or Mexico waiting on your arrival. All right. Ronaldo says, surely we can't mess this up. 3 teams automatically qualified already. Well, let's not hold our breath. I love my country. I love my nation, but I haven't qualified for the men's FIFA World Cup since 1998. Let me just fix my, see, I need to stop touching this thing. Let me know if you guys can hear me, guys. I just touched my microphone and yeah, we're all green. So that means we're good to go. All right, guys. So I'm going to take my eyes off the comment section temporarily, and I'm going to go ahead and focus on that screen in front of you guys. So it means I can't see what's occurring in the comment section. I hope you guys can see the screen. If not, don't worry, I have you covered. So I'm going to go through the nations there who have already qualified, just so we're on the same page as each other, right? So clearly you can see the headline there, FIFA World Cup 2026, who has qualified? Good question. And a look ahead to the FIFA World Cup 2026 in Canada, Mexico, and USA, with details on the teams who have booked their ticket to the tournament. Who's going to the World Cup, guys? That's a question in just generally speaking. You guys planning on going to the World Cup? Maybe if you're in the United States, that's probably an opportunity that you can't miss out on. If you're in Jamaica, probably feel like once in a lifetime opportunity. Again, can't miss out on being at the World Cup. I know some of you most certainly have your, can't call it backup country. I don't want to be, you know what? No, I can't say backup countries, because there are some people out there who support other countries more than their country of birth. So you have other countries that you support aside from Jamaica, right? So again, to reiterate, the 3 host nations, they're co-hosting the FIFA Men's 2026 World Cup, and that is taking place next year, 2026. Those 3 host nations are Canada, Mexico, and the USA, and it says here to host the tournament. 48 nations will compete at a World Cup for the first time ever. FIFA will keep you up to date with each side that qualifies. So we've got a list of nations who have already qualified, guys. And I can go through that with you guys again to keep us all on the same page. It says here the FIFA 2026 World Cup will be contested by more teams than ever before, as 48 nations head to Mexico, USA, and Canada for the biggest World Cup to date, and the first to be held across 3 countries. Nations from UEFA, CONMEBOL, CONCACAF, AFC, that is Asia Football Confederation, OFC, Oceania Football Confederation, and CAF, Confederation of African Football, will all stage their own qualifying campaigns to determine who reaches the tournament. And we can go down a little bit more. Do I need to talk about this? Why not? So USA, sounding a little bit like a broken record here. USA as co-host, USA have to no surprise, if you watch football, you know how this one goes. As co-hosts, alongside the two other nations, they have automatically qualified for a second consecutive World Cup on the bounce and will be looking to better their round of 16 performance at Qatar 2022. It will be the state's 12th World Cup and their second on home soil of the USA 94, with their 1930 run to the semifinals, the nation's best showing at the tournament to date. Mexico. The 2026 World Cup will be the third time that Mexico has played host to the tournament. A little bit of fun fact there, guys. So following 1997 and 1986, I think it's L3. Correct me, is it L3? Where's the Mexicans? Have I butchered your nickname? Let me know in the comment section. So they have hosted the tournament more times than any other country. Put that fun fact in your back pocket. This will be the nation's 18th World Cup, with the previous performances coming on home soil as they reached the quarterfinals in both 1970 and 1986. Canada. Canada complete the trio of hosts, and the tournament will be the first time that the Maple Leafs, that's a lovely name, have reached the tournament back to back. So again, fun fact there for you guys. This it says here their only previous visit to the competition came in 1986 and 2000 and 2022, which both brought winless group stage exits. So if you're feeling like you're one of those bookie people, probably know who to put your money on and who not to put your money on. And now we get into the rest of the nations there who have already qualified, right? I think this was the Japan, Sumare, I believe. Sumare Blues eased through the way ahead of myself, eased through the qualifying to secure their place at the global showpiece. Japan booked their ticket with three group games left to spare. Lucky for some, in the third round of the AFC preliminaries, and will compete in their 8th successive World Cup. Does that make you guys depressed? I'm pretty sure you know why I'm asking that. As Reggae Boyz fans, does that make you depressed? Hearing that Japan will compete in their 8th successive World Cup. If you know your football, you don't need me to beat the drum where Jamaica and United are concerned. New Zealand, another nation that's qualified. New Zealand booked their spot at the World Cup by overcoming New Caledonia 3-0 in the OFC qualifying final. The All Whites, that's a lovely name, will compete at the tournament for the third time, having previously qualified for the 1982 and 2010 editions. IR Iran. So it says here, Team Melly made it through in dramatic fashion, scoring twice coming from behind to draw to wall against Group A rivals Uzbekistan on the 25th of March. In doing so, the Iranians qualified for their 4th successive FIFA World Cup edition. I don't want no one saying, see, if they can do it, so can we. Pack it in. And Argentina, the current reigning kings of the world, the reigning world champions, were the first CONMEBOL team to qualify. They secured their spot on the 25th of March when Bolivia drew 0-0 against Uruguay. That result meant Argentina were guaranteed to finish in one of South America's 6 automatic World Cup qualification spots. And to round that off here, it says World Cup 2026 qualification. The split of the qualifiers is as follows: AFC 8, CAF 9, CONCACAF 6, CONMEBOL 6, OFC 1, and UEFA, they're always the big boys in this. They've got 16 spots. The above allocation accounts for 46 of the 48 precipitating, why am I saying that word so funny? Teams. A playoff tournament involving 6 teams will decide the final 2 World Cup spots. And finally, 1 team per confederation, with the exception of UEFA, plus 1 additional team from the confederation of the host countries, as well as 2 teams to be seeded based on the FIFA Coca-Cola World Ranking will participate. Are you guys excited? Did I just bore you to death? Let me see what you guys are saying in the. Let's look at this beautiful trophy right here. I think the only trophy that outdoes this one in terms of beauty is the boy with the big ears. Man, I would love if my men's team could get their hands on the big ears trophy, but they're a bit united at times, you know. So I don't really know if that's gonna happen in my lifetime. So Detonation says they will do better than the old 98 team. I feel like I'm traumatized by hearing 98. I don't know. Marcus says, I love the fan base. I love that the fan base start to realize what's important and moving forward from the local base and overseas base bias, as we are just holding players accountable regardless where they play. And I love it. I like that comment. I agree with you most definitely. Thus, this Unity Cup showed me people that's always defending local players are calling out who deserve call out, and people that calling for overseas players are holding them accountable as well. That's how it's done. So Max City says, yes, I did pronounce it right. Thank God. I think that's my first time seeing their nickname. Not depressed, just disappointed. Japan has continuously improved and Jamaica has remained stagnant on the men's side. I'm going to have to stick a pin in it because your king, I'm saying your king because I know that you guys are his subscribers. Your king, your boss, the law boss. I'm gonna give him a beating, guys, because he is the best at what he does and what he says goes. So he's actually turned up in the nick of time. It's time for me to get my gripe off my chest. It's time for me to give him the beating that he deserves. And you already know who it is. It's your boy Ryan LFC. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good, man. How are you, man? Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you for blessing me with a moment of your time. And you came decked out as well. I know it's just supposed to be your day off, so I do appreciate you coming on the stream. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, man. Bless up to you and the fans, them. Listen to you. So I'm interested. Always me the one is hosting. You know. So it's always been. I like to be the one who people are asking me questions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what my strong point, you know.
That's true. It's different when someone is actually asking you the questions, isn't it?
Yeah. I love it, you know. I always tell people, they always say me ask questions to get them in trouble. And I said, come on, man, use in charge of yourself. If you don't answer the question, you say, yo, listen, I'm gonna skip past that. So
that's true.
Yeah. So when me people say, yo, that guy asked me question and get me in trouble, but you answer, you have your own responsibility. So, you know.
Fair enough. So you gave me a challenge and I accepted the challenge. I know you think I'm gonna fail. Do you want me to tell the guys the challenge that you gave me?
No, sometimes, you know, you don't people is watching but they don't have the best interest, and you know, you don't want to tell them your secret, what's your plan, you know. They just see it and you're just doing what you're doing, you know.
I like that. All right. I like that. All right. But I've still got a gripe with you though. Do you want to know what the gripe is?
For sure. I think I have an idea, but
what's the gripe?
You know, probably the CFAS thing.
It's not even, but we can get onto CFAS, but it's not CFAS. It's the Reggae Girlz. What's going on with the sports psychologist? I gave you one job.
Well, you know, I spoke to Dennis Strong, and he said that something that they were thinking about, but he's leaving now. You don't know if they will continue doing it and stuff. So I'm asking he should still keep connection with the people who can make that
Yeah, he
decision for
should.
that. Yeah, actually,
Okay.
he's talked to me for over a year, you know. So bless up to Mr. Chung, you know.
Yeah, big up to Mr. Chong. Again, I spoke about Ronaldo Cephas. Thank you for that, by the way, Ryan.
And by the way, I have a guest coming,
Yeah,
so
that's fine. I'm
hopefully.
gonna in your hands though, because I want the girls to get back their sports psychologists. And I think in modern sports, your team is almost, dare I say, handicapped if you don't have a sports psychologist. Your sports psychologist is like your team doctor. It's essential, So
I
hopefully,
understand that because I see Al Grims talk about how important it is to get someone. So
very,
yeah,
very
so
important.
I like it, you know.
I'll leave you with that one, and hopefully you can get that one over the line with the help of Mr. Chong. I spoke about Ronaldo Cephas being quite receptive to criticism. I don't know what you make of that, but I would echo the respect and the flowers being placed at the feet of Mr. Dennis Chong, and say that he has most certainly been receptive to criticism. He took a lot of beating where new media is concerned, and obviously we know he has departed from his position at the Jamaica Football Federation, hopefully gone on to bigger and better things.
I don't know about that because
I know.
I don't know about that because they're roasting him, man. So
No, they need. Listen, I'm not having none of that. I hear what they're saying, but no, like, look, you stay where you are, Mr. Chong. If you want to stay there, stay where you are. They cannot do nothing to you. Stay where you are. But again, he seemed like he was receptive to criticism, and I think he's left the Jamaica Football Federation with his head held high. What do you make of that?
of course, man, I'm proud of him. I'm more accomplishment with the general secretary, you know. I know I give him a hard time, but I tell him this the other day when Manning's man were interview him, and I make him know that, listen, it's not what the people think about you when you join an organization. Organization is when you leave. That's the real thing what people think about you when you leave. But but I tell him that really and truly I have nothing against him. I just want to see Jamaican do good and stuff, and him understand that, and him emphasize and say, yo, the disrespect and all of them stuff there. But I said, Mr. Chung, I don't really want to go back down that road. Right? And I apologize to him, but at the time, at the time he were moving like, and I said, look at what you're doing, man. Look at what you're doing based on our pressure. We didn't need changes. We didn't need the Negro to moving. And I think he really do a very good job. I hopefully we can get someone who better than him. We can elevate the game a little bit more. But I think it take Mr. Chung a little bit of time to understand it and get it, because he's more in politician. He's more in politician stuff and all of them, politics and them things. So coming to football, he were a little bit new, and he were trying to fit in. You know what I mean? He were trying to fit in, but as him go along with him journey, him really, really get better. So big up to Mr. Chung. And by the way, I think him hire some very good person, right?
Yes, that's true.
He hired some very good person because he alone couldn't do it. You know what I mean? And I want to big him up too. And Manning's man and Simon, I know I really give them a hard time, but I want them to understand it's nothing never personal against me calling them out. It's just about like any other organization. When we talk about the JFF, yo, where is this person? Where we work? All of them experience it. So what we did, especially to Manning's man, say, yo, what's the qualification and all of these stuff? It's never about to get up Manning's man, because we're the same person beating the JFF. Stop IAF friend them and all of them stuff. Who have the qualification. But guess what? We criticize them, but they prove us wrong. What we have to do as a fans to come out and say, okay, all right, Manning's man, all right, Simon. When you guys just joined, we felt certain way. We hold up our hand. We see the great work that you guys has been doing, and respectfully. That's what we want, the level of professionalism in the organization. And I think with the setup of the success of the pitch, it is just a matter of time for the success to start to build on the pitch, because nothing happened with the organization running good. And I think Mr. Chung leave the Jamaican Football Federation in a good hand, and I'm happy. And again, big up to Mr. chunk for him accomplishment. Nothing
Yeah,
personal.
yeah, I think, fair play. Well done to yourself, by the way, for saying, I think that's one thing about you is that when you're wrong, you're very willing to apologize. So I think that's one of the good things about you is that when you know you're in the wrong, you do apologize, which I can appreciate about you. And yeah, I think, just like you said, you touched on Mannings and also Simon proving a lot of people wrong, and I think they probably understand that some of those criticism was definitely either valid or necessary or a combination of the two. And, it's only because people want the best out of them. Or I think for Simon cases, people held him in a high regard.
Yeah.
People see him as being one of the best, so competent at his job. So for him to be criticized, it's not a thing of people don't have no respect for him. It's because people hold you in high regard, so they're going to criticize you when you're not doing what is expected of you. But best of luck to those guys there, be it Simon and also Mannings, and of course, like you said, Mr. Chong, long may the wonderful work continue, whether it's with the Jamaica Football Federation or elsewhere. Hopefully we see more of the same. You said something not too long ago about asking questions when it comes to, let's talk about someone's like CV or resume. And I kind of feel like I'm at that point, although tonight, this isn't the purpose of tonight's show, but I think there's a couple questions to be asked where the women's team is concerned. We're not going to get into that tonight, but I'm at this point, Ryan, where I'm looking at some of the stuff that's been done where the men's team is concerned and the level of criticism. And of course, when people criticize the men's team, be it the GAFA, Jamaica Football Federation, it's in good faith. Obviously, I can't speak for all content creators, but I would trust that it's in good faith, especially like with someone like yourself. But I think it's high time that, I'm not saying other people are going to do, but even for myself, it's high time I'm now looking at the Reggae Girlz and I'm saying, hey, what's going on here? I'm going to be demanding more from my girls. I'm going to be demanding more from them because I look to you and I see that you make these tall tasks, tall demands where the Reggae Boyz are concerned. And you are the first person that I heard say that, paraphrasing, that we can fill out the national stadium. And I'm looking like, this guy's a madman. Fill out the national stadium? No chance. But you put that one to bed. You're talking about, you and your subscribers talking about, we need to be winning trophies. We need to be qualifying for this. We need to be doing that. And they say pressure bust pipes. And when you lose, there is some beauty in losing because there's so many lessons to learn when you lose. It's only bad when you get yourself caught up in that insanity where you're losing, and that's because you're chiming out the same behavior, same pattern, so you're not really doing nothing different. You see what I'm saying? But I look at what you guys have done with the men's team and I'm thinking, you know what, some of that actually needs to be echoed with the women's team, because if you guys can be saying that the men's team should be qualifying for XYZ, the men's team should be winning trophies. And some of that, I think you can see where the men's team have improved. Last year they finished in the third place position where the CONCACAF Nations League is concerned. And I'm now looking at the women's and I'm thinking, you're not going to have it smooth sailing with this World Cup qualification that's coming up. I'm not just going to be looking and saying, hey, look, qualify for the World Cup. No. If you're involved in a tournament, you better go into that tournament wanting to win that tournament, because heads is going to roll. Because you see, with the women's team, Ryan, it's too cushy. It's too easy. People have life too easy. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it. And sometimes complacement can, make the thing a little bit lay back and stuff. It's kind of a little bit different. To tell you the truth, I'm not too hard on women, man.
I know you're not. I'm not asking no one to be hard. Like I'm saying, I'm not expecting no one to do it. Hey, look, you know what someone said to me in the comment section a couple streams back? They said they were trying to insult me, but I take it as a compliment. They said, you're just a female Ryan LFC. And I laugh and I'm just like, well, thank you very much. And I laugh. I'm like, well, thank you very much, because that's not an insult. Even if you was trying to insult me, that's not an insult. You're telling me something quite unique about myself. So yeah, like I said, I'm looking at this women's team and I'm not expecting you to manage or deal with the women's team the way that you do. That you can't hit them with a iron fist.
I'm more delicate, man. I'm weak to woman, you know. So
You are, but you can ask necessary questions, Mr. Jackson.
I
And
don't
that's
know, man. I don't know about that, man.
no, you can. You can. You can.
My
You
woman
can.
can't do nothing for me, man. I'm a woman. I love my woman, man.
You can, right? Because
I'm
you
gonna
can
be
see
very
what I can see. The eye test doesn't lie.
yeah,
So
I get it, but I'm gonna feel it's hard for me, man. It's really hard for me, man.
You don't have to hit no one with an iron fist. I'm not asking
I
you to hit
know
no
that,
one
man,
with an
but
iron fist.
it's hard, man. It's hard for me. It really hard. It's I don't know.
So let me ask you a question, and we're gonna go back to the men's team because I'm not supposed to even talking about the women's team. By the way, big up yourself, Mr. Thompson. Big up yourself, Demo Dre. I hope you're in good health. Travis, big up yourself. So Ryan, how many times have you heard that this is the Reggae Girlz golden generation? Have you heard that? You heard people say this is the golden generation?
Of course, that's why we have to cherish it.
Don't bother ramp with me, Ryan. So if it's the golden generation, don't try to worm your way out of this one. If it's the golden generation, should you not expect more of the team other than saying
Two back-to-back World Cup? Two back-to-back World Cup.
We need more than that. If you're in a
I
position,
got it. I understand. I would want more from the administration for the girls, though. Right? I would want more from the administration. I would love to see more effort, things put in place, things planned ahead for the women's team. Because tell you what, women's team, trust me, I see it across the world. Jamaica national team can get to that level, right?
Yeah, 100%.
I think we with the power that we have with the players in the diaspora, if we do the right nurturing and do the right stuff, I'm telling you, Crystal, we can get to that level, right? But the complacement of the administration and administration have to lead by example. They have to lead from front.
Well, Mr. Jackson, what would you say? And this is the last thing we're going to touch on the women's team until we segue into the men's team. What would you say if I said it's not just the federation?
Yeah,
a broken clock can be right at times, correct?
Yes, but if the administration is doing right, if they are the one who control the organization and the team, if the administration is set example, leading by example, these girls have to follow, else they will be kicking out of the team.
Oh, really now? Should we just leave it on a cliffhanger? Should we leave it on a cliffhanger?
The organization, if they do the right thing, and treat the girl right, treat the girl with respect, like they want to be treated towards men, right? Once they do that and they set the standard, and if the girls can follow that standard, and the leader said, hey, this is the standard, this is the requirement, if they can reach that, they can be a part of the team.
And that's the energy that I need from you, Mr. Jackson, because no, Brian, don't ramp with me, because this guy, every opportunity that he gets to criticize me, guys, he does it.
Who is that?
You. And I like it because I know that it comes in good faith. So we're having a very...
I see the potential. I see the level where you can go.
I don't have an issue with that. It's fair, but you're being a hypocrite because you say, sis, you're not doing this, you're not doing that. But I can look at you and say, you're not doing the same for what you're criticizing me for not doing. You say I'm not supposed to say too much, but you can put 2 and 2 together.
No, because no, listen, I'm more close to you. I'm more close to you, right? I want the people be around me to success. I want they have to have success too.
I know, but you can exactly what you just said. I need more of that. I need energy. I need you to love the women's team in the same way you love the men's team. It's not the first time I've asked you that.
Yes, but me just can't hard. Me know me that I love my woman. Them, you know.
Mr. Jackson, I am not
I can't in a public media beat down woman and me no go on that.
Mr. Jackson, I am not asking you to hit no one with an iron fist. I'm asking you to treat the women's team with the same respect that you treat the men's team. Because now, like I said, simply qualifying for the World Cup, that's light work. That does nothing for me no more. I'm not excited by that. I need more. So you're right. Administration needs to do more. But guess what? Everybody else needs to do more also. That's all.
Listen. I'm going to leave it right here. Me I go tell you plain and true. You see the way how JFF love up the man team and show them
Yeah.
respect and doing the right stuff now. Nobody's owed. Nobody they cheat. Everybody the respect. The gents usually talk to the people them in the staff away. Me lick out about it. He fix it. As soon as the JFF man them put them ego aside, forget about what happened with the girls them, and love the girls them and show the girls them the respect. And when the Reggae Girlz is playing the same promotion on the JFF Instagram page,
That is true.
putting out the thing, oh, the girls have game upcoming, this and that. I don't hear that. And until they still have ego about my girls them, I'm not going to call out my girls them. Right.
Nobody's asking you to call out nobody.
No, man,
What
I
I'm
want
saying-
the JFF lead from front, just like how the man
No,
leads from.
what I am
Hold on, man. You see the demands we will take for the man them. Because we know say the JFF I do the right thing for the man team, because they want to qualify. You see the demands we will put on them and say, yo, step up this, do this, that. Me no need to text Dennis Strong and say, yo, how come the women's team do have a sports psychology, but the man's team have it?
Yeah, they do, and this is why I'm saying to you that I need you to treat the women's team with the same respect, because I shouldn't have to come to you and say to you, Ryan, talk about the fact that the women's team need a sports psychologist. How many times have I had to ask you that? Ryan, please. That's what I'm saying. You're not listening to what I'm saying. I'm not saying hit this team. I'm not saying hit this team. Stick a pin in it, guys. I'm gonna bring on my guest. I think he's backstage. I'm just gonna wait for him to sit back down in a bit. I'm not saying hit this team with an iron fist.
No,
What
man.
I'm saying,
No, Crystal. Me hear you, you know. But what me I say, me cannot ask for the girls them to do this and do that, and the organization not doing what they want. They're supposed to do.
no, you can, because you said this is what right. Don't ramp with me. You said a key word that you use is control. That's what you said, right? Control, right? And I don't want to go too deep. So you're telling me that the Jamaica Football Federation is in total control. Is that what you want me to believe?
With the girls team,
Yes.
if they're in total control of the
You
girls
heard
team,
me. Don't bother repeat it. I don't want you to think about nothing. I want you to answer it. Yes or no.
yes,
You
I
don't-
think so.
No, you don't.
I think so. I think
No,
so.
you don't. No, you don't. You took too long to answer. No, you do not.
Yeah, but that's why. But the control is gone now. It's gone now. So I could say yes.
Oh
But
God,
then,
it look like you're trying to tell me something.
no
over this
man.
thing, Mr.
But
Jackson.
then, this is why the JFF would do everything to get rid of Sidela.
CFF do everything to get rid of who?
JFF do everything in their power to get rid of her. So the disrespect she can should just leave now. So
No, we're not talking about Sidela. Sidela has nothing
no,
to do
but
with.
the people were saying that the team controlled by Sidela, but she's not there
No,
anymore.
we're not talking about Sidela. We're not talking about that. We're talking about now. Sidela isn't part of the team now. We're talking about now. So stop trying to worm your way out of it. We're talking about no. Don't bother draw for Sidela.
Okay,
We're talking about
so
now.
let me just get a clear understanding. We've made it on the same page. I know you have the guests to bring in and stuff. I want to make sure that we're on the same page, right? So, what you want me to do? Not iron fist, as you say. You want me to
No, I
have
want
this?
you I want you to treat them with the same respect that you treat the men's team, because there are issues there that needs to be addressed. So do not be cute and clever and tell me I'm not going to do this until the admin. Nonsense, Mr. Jackson. Nonsense.
Okay, I will think about it and I will get to it.
All right, guys, big up yourself, Chemo. I think I've got a debut on the channel, right, guys? Mr. DaCosta, coach, how are you, sir?
Hey, good evening, Crystal.
It's a pleasure to have you on the channel finally. How are you?
I am doing great. It's great to be here. Mr. LFC, I have a big letter bell for you later on, but
Hold on there. I noticed you come on my show, you know, so sound clean. You look like your beard, you're fresh, you're ready. You never come so prepared for my show. What's going on, my buddy?
because you're too rude.
Okay. All right. Okay.
You see how the man set me up the other day and then have him comment and call him disrespect me, Crystal. And
When? No do that, man.
after the post-match, right? The caller called and said, Coach DaCosta, you're too critical of the coaches and players. Big, broad statement. Just big, broad statement.
No.
Instead of Ryan, though, as a moderator, saying, okay, Carlo, exactly what was he too critical about? And then we can actually, because everything, other than that, everything is an opinion. As opinion and a call opinion. When we come to facts now, that's so we can hash it out. So instead of saying, hey, we were too critical on Richard King, that he didn't he's the one that kept the man on side, didn't hold the line. The other 3 Englishmen them hold the line, discipline, and the one the JPL player play hero ball, panic and drop and keep the man on side, which led to the goal. We can argue that. I can be critical of the player, but when Ryan made the call and be so broad, you're too critical of all the coaches and all the players and all the King's men and Humpty Dumpty himself too. Yeah, I try to teach him that you can't do that as a moderator. You have to control the thing. And then the caller went on and repeated the same facts 5 times in a row. I said, Ryan, you have to cut him off at some point. So that's when I jump in and cut him off. And Ryan said, you're wrong, coach. Let them talk. I said, no, if they're not saying nothing, you're the moderator, cut them off.
I'm giving you permission to beat him because he doesn't respect our women's team with the way that he respects the men's team. We have to beg him to talk about the women's team, coach. Beg him.
Yeah, because Ryan is, listen, Ryan is a lot of things, you understand that? But Ryan does love the Reggae Girlz, but for different reasons.
Yes.
No, man. Coach, nobody draw them card upon
The
me.
man love the goalkeeper, the man of all a picture in our room.
You.
I mean,
We got there in the end. We got there. So when he's trying to be cute and clever and trying to draw out Stella Marley, don't do me that. Don't try to worm your way out of this. Ryan, no, but seriously, we know that the federation needs to do better, especially with their marketing. And this is something I've spoken about. The marketing of the Reggae Girlz needs to be better. We know that. But aside from that, I just cannot sit here and be one-sided, Mr. Jackson. I can't just say federation needs to do this, federation needs to do that. We need to move the goalpost now. That's all I'm saying. Right? And I've seen you guys be very critical of the men's team. And the men's team are underachievers compared to the women's team. I've got one of my subscribers who said before we qualified for the last World Cup that the Reggae Girlz can win the World Cup, right, Coach DaCosta? And we look like people are looking at him like this is a madman. And people had to apologize to him because we went to the round of 16. So what I'm saying is don't come with the same one-trick pony. Big up the girls, them. And this is not a criticism of the team. It's not a criticism of the team. I'm looking at the gaffer and I'm saying to myself, don't bother think that it's going to be a walk in the park where you can just come and qualify for the World Cup and that's that. If there's an opportunity to do this, like PSG did over the weekend, then I want to see my team do that. That's all I'm saying. It's no longer qualify for the World Cup, job done. That's
Crystal,
what I'm saying.
You're absolutely correct because the Reggae Girlz have a better chance to win the Women's World Cup than the men do having to win the Men's World Cup.
Exactly.
That's a fact. If the JFF and Reggae Nation would get behind the girls the way they get behind the Reggae Boyz, you will see a lot. Because a lot of times,
Coach, sorry to interject, but this is our golden generation. But you're right. Ryan loves this team for a different reason. And that's my brother. But I need you to give the same love and appreciation to the women's team, Ryan. Because you know, when you talk, change must come.
Yeah, Ryan have a big voice. And he doesn't realize how important he is in this whole thing. And his voice. And then when we get out him chalkboard and start diagram and play, the man parrot all of my coaching principles. I'm missing the boy. I parrot some of my coaching phrases I use until I said he's been paying attention. But I'm just saying, if they put the same amount of money in the Reggae Girlz, right, being hiring the right coach, you understand? If they really do the dive and get the right coach and can organize them the right way, the girls can win the World Cup. You know, a lot easier than men. But that's what she's saying, you know, Ryan.
Yeah, that's what I am saying. You have such a high demands for the men's team, but the women's team, you're gonna come tell me about them qualify for back-to-back World Cup. That's not good enough, Ryan. This is our golden generation. Bunny Shaw needs to be winning a trophy with Jamaica.
Yes, because the Lincoln play for the girls. That's all they need to know is the proper relationship between Bunny Shaw and the wingers and the midfield. If they can solve that with the right coach, Jamaica can beat any team. US, Canada, any of them, US, Jamaica can beat.
And that is one of the things that, and this name, big up yourself, Chemo. No, my brother. No, my brother. Sorry, I just see your comments. No, bro. No. Let me just say, and this is one of the things, and I know the purpose is to talk about the men's team, but I just segue. I'm so sorry. This is one of the things that Vin Blaine, I know people don't really like hearing Vin Blaine's name, but Vin Blaine said something that's in the back of my mind, and every now and again I remind myself of it. He said that this women's team have the capabilities, paraphrasing, to beat the USA. And he said, you know, the one thing that we need to correct is our defense. And the moment he said that, people jumped down on him and they're saying, oh, you're disrespecting. He's not disrespecting the team. The man said that we have the players to beat the USA. And that's the mindset that we should be having.
Yeah, listen, Ryan comment section is like the 7th grade in America, middle school.
Hey,
they don't say, just let me say it, finish my phrase.
No, you can't degrade my people like that. You can't degrade my people like that. I'm not allowing you to tell me.
See, Crystal, and he beat me when I interrupt them with them nonsense.
No, bro, you can't say that, my brother.
I know, but
can I finish saying?
No,
No,
Crystal, no make him talk.
Most
my brother.
What Ryan.
No.
They don't say something unless they think everybody else agree with them. They don't have the courage to come up there and say the truth and talk the truth.
Okay, Coach Lacosta, I think it's better to say that they have a difference in opinions, right? Because you don't want to, when you say they're like 7th grade, it's like you're trying to call them low educated.
Yeah, you can't negate.
No, because they're not low, they're not, you know, they're educated people. They're different.
We know that Jamaicans are some of the smartest, most well-educated people, but I'm saying they act like they're in the 7th grade. Some of them.
They have a different way. They rub you up
the wrong way. As a teacher of 10 years, I taught for 10 years in a high school. Them act, you know, and before that I was in a middle school, two separate middle schools. You know, them act like them in the 7th grade.
No, you know why they do that to you? Because they
I've experienced. None of them in the comment section have experienced teaching in 7th grade. I do.
Ryan.
Well, I'm leaving to them. I'm leaving them team. I'm not even saying anything. When him get back on the show, him name I get him ass with. I'm leaving to them. Cause remember some of them over here watch too. So
yeah, you know, Coach, I can't save you because
I understand that, John, but you should see the beating them give me the other day.
You have to take some beating too, bro.
No, and Ryan have this, like he been in competition with me, you know, when it comes to the football thing. So I love when them beat me and them jump down on me because they think it's taking me down a peg. But Crystal, the number one thing is they never argue the football. They always argue something personal. Coach Lacosta, you're too critical of the boys and you're too critical of the coaching staff. They never argue my comments on the football. You know, and I'm the first one, and I pointed out in real time, Crystal. The rest of them have to go back and watch the film and replay and say, oh, that's what happened. It's immediately in real time. I'm watching a live match. And Ryan gonna test this. I call out the flaws of what's gonna right there, and that's what Ryan don't get. And don't understand that, you know, I'm almost 60 years old. I have more matches. I forget about more matches than him.
Almost 60.
Yes, I'm 58. I'm 59 this year.
Oh, because you're a coach. Well, keep at it. That's good.
So one of the things is I've forgotten more football than most of them, right? So it's automatically, I'm not trying to be, you know, superior or whatever, but I have experience. I've coached thousands of matches. You understand that? I have actual practical experience. When them go now, go study some coach and get a tactic or something down, then them come on the show, I'll show how smart them is, and I tear them apart, and you know, them turn personal. You understand? You cannot compete. You understand, Ryan? So nobody with me.
Have to just don't let the comment section get. But you're gonna piss them off when you call them 7th graders. They're gonna wait. They're not gonna do it.
I didn't say all of them. I say a lot of them, and a lot of them.
Okay, then, Coach. But you know, I'm glad we're all on the same page as Ryan, because he likes to tell me to do better, right? Coach Lacosta. So I have to tell him, hey, when it comes to my women's team, put some respect on my women's team.
Don't put the respect, Ryan.
Yeah. Respect my women's team, because this comment is what Ryan is all about. That's just
ship that letter belt to you know. Where you in England somewhere? Where you? Where are you, Crystal?
I'm in London.
You're in London, okay. See, I'm going to go to London. I'm going to leather belt, and Crystal and I are going to take turns beating you until you submit. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you know the words coming out of my mouth? See, I can slip right down London, you know.
But yeah, it's not going to be smooth sailing this World Cup. We're demanding more. Ryan, you know how Ryan's a hypocrite coach? This is how I catch him. He's trying to worm his way out about admin need to do this. And yeah, we know that. We beat the admin and we're going to continue to beat the admin. The other day we did a live stream and the live stream was about giving Sidela Marley her flowers. And we also segue and spoke about Bunny Shaw. And he agreed with me out of his own mouth that Bunny Shaw needs to be winning a trophy with Jamaica, right?
All right.
So for Bunny Shaw to win a trophy with Jamaica, we need to align ourselves in a position where she's able to do exactly that, because Bunny's approaching 30. Bunny's a back-to-back Ballon d'Or nominee. Bunny played this season on one leg and she still won the Golden Boot. She played maybe half a season. So this is a superstar that we have in our team, one of the greatest forward ever.
Yes.
This is Jamaica's leading goal scorer for men and women. So Ryan, don't come tell me nothing about, oh, we qualify for back-to-back World Cup. Shame on you as a footballer, somebody who played a professional game. Don't tell me that that's good enough. It's not. It's great, but we need more. We need more.
You know, I agree that the JFF have to do their part too, because
100%.
They made this last Olympic tryouts on thing, whatever Olympic they made a mess of that with the banning the players and the non-banning the players, and the best players weren't there to be selected. And of course, Jamaica once again loses out. Jamaica loses out on being in the Olympics, something we should have qualified for, and things like that. Because I just want to get the right coach, and I agree with the girls. The girls should have a say in that. They can have one of the captains on the search committee that's picking a new coach. Jamaica always do things backwards. They do what's called headhunting. They want to go and find a coach and say, Steve McLaren, that's what we want. Boom. Rather than form a proper search committee, say 5-person search committee that vets different candidates, a bunch of candidates. Say you get 40 names and you will it down to 10, then you will it down to 5, then you the top 3 and whatnot. Then you select your coach based on the thing. You interview them and you ask them certain questions. Ryan asks a question, should I ask Steve McLaren for him, and also Rudolph Speed that he in order to, but the vetting system what other countries and other people do in corporate America all the time when they want a new leader. You understand that? The proper vetting. And I tell him, even though when you interview these young coaches, you might not give them a job this coaching vacancy, but they're on your radar now and you watch them for the next time. You have that relationship with them. So when it's them time, no, you can just pick them and things like that. But when you headhunt, just go for one person and just disregard everybody else. That's what I have a problem with JFF with. Put some money in and find the right coach and pay them.
It's true. Pay is a big thing. I mean, Ryan, Mr. Conrad Smith, he says, what's going on with the Jamaica coach, Crystal? Is he there in camp? I am assuming you're speaking about the women's senior team. That question, I think, is from my good friend, Mr. Ryan Jackson. I mean, he's better versed than myself, Coach DaCosta. So, Mr. Jackson, where is your head coach? Is he in camp?
He's in the stands.
Is he?
Mr. Dread roll up on him the first game against Trinidad. Mr. Dread roll up on him. McLaren said, move, lift off. McLaren moves.
Yeah, problem.
Listen, this show was only supposed to be 30 minutes and it's 1 hour and 30 minutes. So, first of all, before I forget my manners, thank you to the both of you for blessing me with a moment of your time. We segue and we spoke about the Reggae Girlz, and really and truly, that wasn't the plan of tonight's show.
We can take 2 minutes to talk Reggae Boyz real quick and then close it out. You have something to
Yeah, we're going to talk about Reggae Boyz, but I just wanted to apologize because I wasn't even supposed to touch on the Reggae Boyz, but Ryan's trying to
you have the best combo in YouTube,
I know, thank you. How much do I owe you the invoice?
Yeah, so
listen, the number of them go up when Coach DaCosta join Ryan showing up. Call them brethren and Coach DaCosta's on. All my ex-player them, but my former players and stuff, them all like call me during the show and knock me off the thing. I'm Ryan said me down from the whatever the stream there. I'm gonna come back, dial back in and tell you, said, them calling me. Them said them see me on the show. Them, they still aren't the brightest bulbs on the tree, but I'm a player and I'm gonna love all of them.
You better wait till tomorrow to come in and grab your face, stay there.
Who? Who? What you say?
Let's get to it, Crystal. I'll leave him for tomorrow and the people there.
So, yes, back to the World Cup chat. How you guys feeling about some of the stuff that I've said?
Wait. You have one of your commentators, right? Mr. Jason Guna said, the Costa have this memorized of times I hear talk about search committee. I hope they listen and do it so him can't stop saying. See, people don't understand that there's better ways to do things, right? And when you settle for the lowest thing, that you're just settling. The soft bigotry of low expectation. If you don't expect them to do better, they're not going to do better. But they will hold them to a higher standard. Say, listen, be a modern federation, JFF. Form a search committee and find a good coach for us. You find a 64-year-old man now who is not a long-term solution. Would you agree?
Hey.
Who are we discussing?
Well, Steve McLaren, right? He's in my ballpark, and one of the reasons he had to leave the bench and go up, I know it's because he couldn't see. He couldn't see properly from on the ground level and things like that.
Oh, really?
That's the only reason. Why would you leave? The bench and go up into the stands to have fans at you without no security, nobody. You understand?
You know what I thought? Maybe. That's probably something to think about. I said at first, I was just like, this is a little bit odd, but then I was like, maybe he's doing it because he wants to embrace the fans. Maybe he wants to be among.
He didn't embrace the first fan.
No, man, none of the fans, man. I'm not sure. I'm not sure why. But I know most of the time when him there at Jamaica, he prefer go open on the car. Him say him can see better. So my thought is,
really?
Yeah, him can see the game more better, but I don't buy that. I don't buy that because me know that me watch Reggae Girlz in the stands in Canada. I'm watching Reggae Boyz below. And may I tell you, you see when me see low, me can't see that in the stand, Bridget.
No, Ryan, you have young eyes. You're not understanding, Ryan, and you soon come. It soon come. In about 30 years, it soon come. And you gotta look on, you gotta squint, and remember one eye open, and the other one, and you can't see that, and the cataract attack you, not their person.
So why don't he get a pair of glasses then?
Well, binoculars, whatever, but you know what? That's what happens. And it all coming to it's very interesting. So once again, because I did that sometime when I couldn't see. I stand up on the damn thing, and I had to make sure I can see what's going on in order I can read the game, follow the game, and make changes if necessary.
What's the word? There's a way of phrasing that. What is that? Far distance? You have far distance?
Yeah, you're far-sighted.
That's it.
Far-sighted or nearsighted. Say maybe far-sighted. You understand that? I have to get to collect the field. As opposed to nearsighted where you close, you understand that? So far-sighted, you boom, boom, boom. Yeah. So I mean, it has to be a physical thing because it's not practical for you to be up in the stands and not with your team, coaching your team, and getting advice from your coaches. Maybe that's one reason, Ryan, in running from the assistant coaches. You're a guy,
Ryan's boy, you don't want to upset him. That's Ryan's boy,
Who is that? No, sir, nobody with them thing for me.
I thought that was one of your favorite coaches. Sorry.
Who?
Bearing's wrong. The gaffer, Steve McLaren.
No, sir. A Man United coach can't be my best coach. You're crazy.
I just thought that was one of your favorite coaches,
No, I didn't want this coach, but I have to give him credit now based on what he do in the Unity Cup. So hopefully things is coming together.
Oh, okay. So
Crystal, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen 2 new assistant coaches on the Reggae Boyz stand. Have they had an effect since they've come into the team with change the way the team plays, Ryan or Crystal?
Yeah, definitely.
So are they the ones making the effect? Because remember, Steve McClaren had.
Yeah, but he's the one who bring them. Yeah, he's the one who bring them. One of them coach England under-17 team that win the World Cup.
See,
so
McLaren had a whole fall, and we didn't see a change. We see the same thing, and then all of a sudden now we're coming and we see this new brand. These 2 matches here. Against
we see the last brand like before this tournament, but in the last game, but in a really matter come to fruition as yet. But in this tournament, you kind of really see it and think. Hopefully, that is something that I think is going to be stay with us right? So a lot of positive. I hear some players in Jamaica now try to get their passport. So hopefully for Gold Cup we can have a different.
Crystal, quickly, Crystal, before you take my cover issue, because you know me and Ryan are takeover artists.
No, do your
take
thing.
over on the show. One of the things I love when they took the luxury boxes up high in the terraces, and Tony was up there. You know, people say all kind of big baller in the private. You could see them in the luxury boxes and thing up there. When they see this a performance from Jamaica against Nigeria, it excites them because they have a brand too, and they want their brand to be on this world stage during the biggest tournament, which is the World Cup. They cannot be at home. England don't call them up and just at home sitting, and Jamaica is right there. So for some of them that can't get the passport, can't get the thing. You understand? So a big change is coming. You're going to see a whole floodgate of them come now because they didn't believe the way Jamaica was playing in the fall that Jamaica can play this way they played these last 2 matches. So if Jamaica build on this now, you're going to have so many players interested in playing for Jamaica.
You know, Ivan Tony as well. Like I said, you know, we had Big Heck, Michael Hector, as well as Bobby Reed. Those are the players that I spotted. And of course, Ivan Tony was there. But I think with him, it's a case of one, it's his country of heritage, which Coach DaCosta alluded to. A few other things. Brentford is his former club. And also Ethan Pinnock is his brethren. And Ethan Pinnock, although he wasn't part of the Unity squad, Ethan Pinnock is a Reggae Boy. So I think those are a couple of reasons why he went and watched them. Now he's in camp with the 3 Lionesses. Sorry, with the 3 Lions, my apologies. But I think that's that way Ethan Pinnock is concerned. Coach has just gone off screen temporarily. I guess we could continue with the conversation. So, who was your player of the tournament for the Unity Cup?
Cephas.
Easy.
No, it's not. You just don't want me to go toe to toe.
No, man. To be honest, Cephas. I think Cephas really make up the second game. What we criticize him for and what we ask for, we get it. So he look more dangerous. And as me say, I learned this from Coach DaCosta. So I'm going to borrow it again as him here. Different. What's his name? Oh my God. Unpredictable. Where when a player is unpredictable, they don't know when you're going to pass. They don't know when you're going to shoot. They don't know when you're going to dribble. And you become more dangerous as a football player. So we see Cephas, if you check his stats, last game in the first half, I think he touched about 4 times the ball involved in the game. But second half, he really come to life, him and Palmer. Right? But, you know, I like what Cephas bring. And not even that, what Dixon. He don't take a boy to finish the chance that Dixon finish, you know. A lot of people, they don't know how much miles run to catch up. Dixon run from the moment the ball reach Cephas. Dixon the over hour half. And Dixon run past 2 defenders and put the ball in at the back of the net. That simply means that it is more something that he's learning overseas, where whenever you see the opponent, your winger get the ball on that side, you have to be there to support in the box. And that's what I love about Dixon. He's growing, and I think he's continuing. And not only that, when I look at the kid physiques now, my goodness, man, I see vein running in the man tie them, and me I say, yes, bro, because a lot of people don't understand that mileage, your body have to fit, you have to strong to get up there and back. And that is what Leon Bailey and Demari Gray don't have. They don't have, and again, Dixie is young, but they don't have that defensive back and forth. And I'm glad of him leave Jamaica at the right time. It could be a little bit more earlier, but he leave at the right time to get the growth that he need to go to the next level. And I'm telling you, and I always say, yo, coach, stop, think about the youth age. Play the youth very good enough to play at this level. You understand? And him work, him help back, him help Dexter. When is the last time Leon Bailey and Demari Gray help our wing backs?
Look at Spain. Look at Spain. Them playing
Yeah,
16
he's
in a
a
row.
power now. Dixie is a
Young
power
kid.
now coach. So I think he's going to really come into him own and him enjoying this, right? Because he have a point to prove. He want to play championship football next year. The team get promoted to the second league in England. So he want to play big man football. And I
think they
think
got promoted to championship, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah,
you know?
they are in the championship. So
Yeah.
Dixie is getting there, the fight that him have and the energy. Over to you, Tadakasa.
Yeah, I would have to say Cephas. In the entire two-match tournament, he accounted for 4 goals. You understand? His 2 penalty that he won, kicks that he won, and then the 2 assists that he provided. You understand? A second would be Richard King. Richard King, even though he gave up that goal by not stepping and not holding the line properly, he made up for it with his run into the half from the defensive position he had that created that last goal, that tying goal for Jamaica to make it 2-2. So you understand that? So that young man shows, even though you make a mistake, you don't worry about it. You pick yourself and you go on one and do something and fix it and correct it. So I have to say Cephas first because it's basically 4 assists the man have in the tournament. And then Richard King with his growth. And then one of the things, Crystal, when you criticize Richard King for the move he made, right? And the people in Ryan's comments said they don't understand that you can be good and bad.
This is why I tell you, say the people they might get to you. This is why them not stop me.
No.
All right, watch out, coach. You notice them the pressure me? Me dey even look at them when them say Ryan had this. Me dey even look at them. You see, the more you pay them attention, they feel like it affect you. So you're not even on Ryan LFC show. You're talking about Ryan comment section.
Him don't protect me.
Into you. Stop being like a baby, bro.
In Pylon, talk about me's baby.
You're a baby lala, man. You're a baby lala, bro. You're a baby lala.
You ever seen him cry? With a player name that scored in Jamaica? Why you put him in the game? Why you in the match?
Robin Morrison, coach. Stop the crying, bro.
Oh,
and stop
you the only one crying this thing. I never cry.
You cry. I know you cry about my comment section. You're on Crystal.
You know about cry.
Let's get to the thing, bro.
Listen,
Continue, bro. Continue.
Listen, let me say one more thing. You know what? Hear I when I cry. Oh. No matter. Jehovah protect Coach DaCosta from all of them Hedonites in your comment section around Ryan LFC. All of them. Bad man.
So I have to I think we can all agree with Cephas then. One thing I will disagree with though is not everyone's how do I even frame this? But I don't agree.
I know the man. I know where you're going, but go on.
Where am I going?
I know where you're going.
You don't.
I know exactly where you're going.
You don't. Do you want to bet?
I bet you any money.
You bet. How much are you willing to give?
I'm betting you $200.
$200. Are you sure?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
People in the comments say, all right, where am I going? Because I have the tab that I'm actually going to be bringing up.
And by the way, I will know because I will see your left face jump. So let's go.
I promise you. No, tell me.
So, coach, you she are going to coach. Because remember she talked to 2 footballer person in the game. Not saying that you don't understand the game. You know, she does say, coach, but it's not every player have that capability there to be rounded, to hold up the head and pass the ball and stuff. Some players just good at one thing.
I am so glad that you can't read me because that has nothing to do with what I was going to say. Actually, I was going to talk about Kaheem Dixon, and I was going to say that I don't agree with this conversation that Kaheem Dixon shouldn't be at Charlton Athletic. That's,
so where did that come from?
That came, I listened to your show, Mr. Jackson. I might not comment, but I do listen to these big ears do keep tuned in, mind you.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't agree. I'm not saying it's from yourself or Coach DaCosta. I was listening to a couple people calling through your show. I think it was maybe 2 shows ago. I don't agree that he shouldn't be at Charlton, and I think people probably aren't aware of how invaluable Charlton is, and especially to his current development. Like I said, you alluded to it. They've promoted themselves to
that Bowman's come from there. A lot of black players come from Charlton. There's a community.
even back me on this, Ademola Lookman, he's come through Charlton Athletic. He's been part of Charlton Athletic. Joe Gomez, he's been part of Charlton Athletic as well. Pope, he's been there, one of the greatest footballers ever, especially where it comes to one of our own. And yes, he played a stint at Charlton Athletic, but it just echoes the value of Charlton Athletic, that player being the great John Barnes. Conor Gallagher, he's played for Charlton Athletic as well. So I kind of feel like people just hear Charlton Athletic, Consa, the list goes on. People hear Charlton Athletic, and perhaps because they're not clued in, they're assuming that it's a dud club. It's not. Like, it's the club that has its own respective history, and I think he's in the perfect position. He's going to be playing in the
Championship football.
Exactly, championship football. Who knows? They might go on to achieve something unbelievable, and he might be playing Premier League football in a season or two. So I don't think we should rush the process. I think we have to also remind ourselves that he has moved to another country. Yeah, we have seen where he started life out with Charlton Athletics. I believe it was I can't remember if it's which one of the underage group, but he was with the underage group with Charlton Athletic. But that's part of a transitional phase. He has moved to a country where, yes, there is no language barrier because he can obviously speak and understand English fluently, but there is a change in culture, and people are forgetting that this is all a part of adaptation. It's a change in culture where the weather is concerned. It's a change in culture where the food is concerned, even basic things like your spices. He has to get used to that. Next season, you're probably going to see the best of him, because he's probably had time now to solidify himself. Little things that we take for granted, he has had to get under his belt. Move to a new country, find an apartment, find a new phone contract, all these little things that he has to solidify himself with. Who knows, he might, have a little partner by his side, and she can probably help to make life a little bit better for him. But I wouldn't say jump the gun yet, because he's probably just settled into life with Charlton Athletic. When am I getting my 200 pounds, not dollars? We don't do dollars. We do this thing. Mr. Ryan Jackson.
Well, don't worry. Are you going to the Reggae Girlz game?
Are you sponsoring me?
No, I have somebody who could drop it off for you.
I don't know. How do I know that person isn't going to hurt me?
No, a good person. Nice to meet them too,
Is that male or female?
No kind of man. Woman, yeah. Woman.
Is she trustworthy? Because I don't know if I want to.
Trustworthy. We don't really keep man friend. We keep woman's friend.
And she's going to the Reggae Girlz game, yeah?
100%.
It's funny because I thought you had a PayPal.
No, because you say you don't do US. We do pound.
Oh my God.
Stuff here, somebody.
Mr. Speed has raised you well, isn't it? You love to move the ball, don't you?
He doesn't tell that, shout that out loud that he's a disciple of Rudolph Speed.
No, I never hide that. I never hide that.
The apple don't fall far from the tree.
Yeah, I mean, Speed's let's say Mr. Speed's raised him well. He's moved the goalposts on me a number of times. So honestly, that's what I wanted to talk about. Charlton Athletic and Fahim Dixon. Moving on to the Gold Cup. How do you guys feel about the Gold Cup and the possibility of us qualifying? Not the Gold Cup, the World Cup. How do you guys feel about the possibility of us qualifying for the World Cup? And I'm saying that, taking into consideration the little positives there that we have seen from the Unity Cup. For me, there is some glimpses there of improvements, not overall improvements, but little improvements. I say one of the key improvements that I saw from the men's team was their response. I don't know if yourself, Ryan, and Coach Acosta agree with me, but this is one of the few occasions where they had an instant response, and that's something that I think can be celebrated, because they've always had this habit of they go one goal down, they trail it, and their heads start to drop. The body language isn't there. So, how do you feel?
That normally comes from lack of trust. You have to understand, Crystal, the number one ingredient in any relationship is trust. You and your husband or wife, you and your boyfriend, girlfriend, you and your parents, you and your kids, there has to be a trust factor there. As glaring as it was on display when Richard King didn't step with the other three English-based players who stepped. That led to that Nigerian go-ahead goal. and things like that. The lack of trust. He should have trusted and stepped with them. And then as soon as the ball is played, turn, run, and defend. But this is what he did. He didn't trust, and then he put his hand up like he's an assistant referee, running with his hand up, asking for the offside for the assistant referee while the person is attacking his goal. You understand that? I call it hero ball, but instead of you trust the thing, you decide, I'm gonna, you know what, I'm gonna make sure that I get back in a position and you keep everybody on side and things like that. So the moment that Jamaica gets that trust amongst each other, especially in that midfield and moving that ball, because normally when a team has to think before they play slowly. If it's second nature, can they play and then they can knock that ball out? Can they know who are Dixon gonna make this run? Russ gonna do this? Oh, a Burrow gonna do that? If them work together now, right? That's why I'm so excited for this Gold Cup before the World Cup and then the World Cup qualifiers also, because you know they have an opportunity to get the chemistry that we all know Jamaica is lacking. You understand? And we don't need a ball stopper. You know, whether it's Damari Gray or Leon Bailey or whoever, the ball come to them and just put them head down. Cephas did that the first match against Trinidad. Just put his head down and dribble. You understand that? No, we need an actual team, a unit working together, working for and playing for each other to produce a brand. Everybody thinks it's just pretty. No, it's effective, smart football that we want to see Jamaica play. And then now, because they're bringing these new players, they have the personnel to do it, and they have the coach. That apparently now, we're coach bringing them two assistants. I see him talking to something like that. We can implement this system in here. Jamaica is gonna make some serious noise in the World Cup qualifiers and in the Gold Cup.
Hey, coach, you know, I'm gonna give you flowers because these people is not around the Jamaican football anymore. But I spoke to Coach Al Grimser and him assistant coach in Canada. I never share this a lot, but I'm going to share it tonight. And, you know, I was at the team hotel and the assistant coach say, "Hey, Ryan, what's up? What are you doing?" And I was in the hotel, you have a piece of where they sell foreign stuff, like they would have sell Jamaican stuff, Canadian,
like a gift shop.
Yeah. So gift shop, yeah. So I was in there I was picking up a Jamaican hat, and the assistant coach pick up my voice and say, "Hey, Ryan, LFC," and him say, "Stay right," he said, "Don't move." So him go call Grimmy, and him say to the coach, who is this? Who is this person? I was on my heart, and him say, "Who is this person?" And him say, "Coach, I don't know, tell me. Got my back return." So when I turn around now, I say, "Oh, the Liverpool guy, LFC, the Liverpool guy." So actually, he said, both of them said to me, right? You know, you're doing a really great job, and he learned about the administration from me. You were watching one of my videos, right? When he come into Jamaica, you were watching one of my videos, but the assistant coach say, "Hey, you know, we hear you speak about the administration, but we want to see for ourselves." But they are kind of a little bit improved. But the guy named DaCosta, yeah, he seems like he know what he's talking about, you know, and you know, I'm kind of a little bit harsh, but that's what we need to hear as a coach, because we need people to analyze and criticize us, but you know, people around you, we need good person, right? We're not going to too harsh and be, because we need people around us to motivate us, but still they look outside to hear what the public said, you know, and both of them, they say continue doing the job, Mr. LFC, because Coach Algrim to support Liverpool. So that's why I never want to change my Liverpool background, because most people familiar and know me by the Liverpool background, right? So the coach said, keep doing what you're doing, keep calling as it is and thing, but you know, but tell the guy DaCosta, you know, he can give a little bit more credit, but we still appreciate what he's doing different. So I'm telling you, this is what I know a long time. I tell you this, bro. when the player them that in fan cam, I'm telling you, player video show me the thing they on TV. And I'm telling you, coach, these players, they probably listen more, but you don't know how thing did it, so a whole heap of crowd and things. So they were there and listen and all of these stuff. You know what I mean? And one of the most hardest thing around the Reggae Boyz team, I know where I'm stand, and you know, some of them feel that, especially the local one, they feel a certain type of way to you. But you see the rest of the guy them from England, like Bobby Reed, them are great. They said, Ryan, we used to this. This is nothing. This is a part of professionalism. This minute and I love us this minute. But that's make we strong, you know what I mean? But we still need good people around us to keep. And I tell even Boza, you know what I mean, Mr. Boza, bro, keep doing what you're doing. All the people around you need the people to give you the support and all of these stuff. But I'm just gonna be the one where you can come and see where you are with your game and stuff. And Bobby Reed embrace it. You know, he want an honest opinion and player ratings when he said he'd watch me show. And he encouraged me, say, yo, bro, like cut up the video them, cause you know, sometimes me had to work, me I go to training and me I watch one video, I'll chief for them, it can't watch it. So cut out the snaptage and all of them stuff and put it up on the channel. So these players watch, and that's why we tell us around what accountability, bridging. You know what I mean? We not try look no friend and we not try friend no player, brother. You see the moment you do that, brother, you get compromised. You don't want to speak or you're supposed to feel, or you're supposed to feel about the game and all of these stuff. And I said, bro, we need to stay over this, so me stay over this, so it's all love, but we need accountability. And for right now, we want the team to go forward, Crystal. We really do want a team going forward. And this is the first time I really feel like we're going in the right direction with the way I see the team playing, especially Leon Bailey and Demar Gray. I don't want to see them start going forward. I want them to build up that fight and that want to get back out there. They should watch from the bench, watch Dixon and watch Cephas playing, and that's going to raise the competitiveness of the game.
and that rescue you Ryan NFC.
The competitiveness.
Yeah, so that's going to raise the level.
I get like that sometimes, and it makes me stutter. It's so embarrassing. I hate.
No, man, nothing to be embarrassment. This is nothing to be embarrassed, man. I embrace the challenge and I love it, you know. So we love it, Crystal. We want to see the team good, and I'm feeling really happy that we get in there, and that's why we not. You hear the coach talking about it's pressure and all of these stuff. No, we put in pressure on Speed to make him know that, yo, bro, you can't mess up with this one. And we demanding result, brother. So if we're not up to the fight, leave, bro. If you need people to improve, and that's why I embrace the coach right now. See him bring in 2-person, and we see how we want to play, and especially the coach is playing people in their position. And I hope he continue to doing that. Bro, we can compete, bro. We can compete. You know who is in Jamaica right now?
Sir.
A big player from Rangers, where we are on down. We're in Jamaica, we are look about him passport right now. and by the end that by the 15th of this month, before the month done, the player are going to get him passport. So these are the things that we're talking about, Crystal, that we want the thing to be competitive. And me I beg the people them in the JFF. Just for God's sake, brother, we can't just leave the team, make the team blossom, man. Just every time we are going another part and a thing, bridging, people want to come in and just push up themselves. Yo, back off, no make the coach do him job, man. Just please, me I beg on and I the coach to do him job. Make him do him job, bridging. Just make the coach do him job. And we can say, all right, the coach failed by himself. But just stop. We see it obvious and clear. And me I beg, please. Because if we don't stop, me go keep calling you out. I'm not going to like it. Please allow the coach and me move forward. You know, see what? I'm more positive coming out of this Unity Cup, Crystal.
Rosa
Because
Parks.
you see, like none of us, Crystal. Imagine to see if Dixon and Cephas them can manage. Because all
Yeah.
it no matter, we just have this courage. What is the starting lineup? Leon Bailey, Boza, or Mikel Antonio, them are great. But now we see Dixie them get the opportunity. And now we have players from Burrell coming in and thing. We feel like we're going somewhere. We want the bench for strong as possible. We don't want just 11 good players in the team who know we have a level start. Bro, you're good at your bench. When we look at the Jamaican bench, we have too many players in the diaspora and in the world for we want to make a change on the level. What come off of the bench is nothing. And that's the level we have to strive for progress and better. Because I'm telling you, Crystal, if Jamaica can qualify for this World Cup, people, me done. Me turn my channel now, family channel, me done. I swear to God, brother, me done with Jamaican football because there's no way on earth we're not supposed to qualify. And every time we get close, people are push up players in the team. We don't need to do that. Just allow the thing to just play out the man and make the coach do what he do. No micromanage nobody.
There you go. Ryan, Ryan, I don't know why you waited a year and a half to tell me that story.
No, man, because hear what, coach? Hear what? The reason, because sometimes when things, people tell you need to have trust with people, you know, right? You need to have trust with people. So it could never be the coaching staff is here and I come on YouTube and I say, see, them already. No, they are not part of Jamaica now, so
okay,
I'm giving you
confidentiality.
Why you think when the people are go at you, I don't say, oh, people, may agree with the people. Them normally I say, yeah, man, beat the boy, quote the customer. I rile up them. No. No, because I understand what I'm seeing. I know the game too, Crystal. I know when the team is prepared and we're going into the right direction. No, we thought change on the team about the negative and all of these stuff. Because we see where we are called for what we want to see and we want to see it improve. Right? Because when that Costa say, I know everybody, Crystal, understand the game like how we do understand the game. So when sometimes them have them saying and them criticize Dakasta, me know say them can't manage Dakasta, so them find another way for try get him down. But coach Dakasta know that say, yo, you're on a public powerful platform, you give your opinion, everybody respect you, and everybody are going to challenge in a footballing way. They're going to find a way to get at you. Can you beat them down in a football?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
So when your coach I beat the coach man thing, because me know previous coach, me I tell you, Crystal, me know previous coach talk to me. You understand? So that's one of the things where you have to keep certain things called Dakasta where.
Okay, I understand your reasoning, and it's valid and things like that. Because once again, in America they have a saying, right? If you're the smartest person in the room, you need to change rooms. And if you're the smartest coach in that group, then you need to change that your group around you. What I'm seeing is the people around Coach Steve McLaren are so important. How long has Marin Gordon and the other one them been? How many regimes have they been in their position, Ryan? You know better than anybody else, right?
Yeah.
The infrastructure at JFF, the actual coaching infrastructure, we have a head coach and anything like that, right? They've been here several regimes and we've not gotten the desired results. I advocate to change that. I'm sorry. Those assistants have to go. Bring in a new guy, bring in the fresh people, blood them that can't really. And when now we see that new guy coming now, all of a sudden that change and everybody's surprised. But I've been calling this for years. Einstein said you cannot, what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over, expecting a different result. How can you have that infrastructure there with a coach like that? And I'm not knocking McLaren, you understand that? But a younger coach, 35 to 50, would have the energy to run on the field and show them and this and that. And you understand, Crystal? It's a different way of coaching now when you can go out there and demonstrate. Some coaches have them, Mr. Craig Butler, right? 40 yards away. The man, when I play them, the big, tall, skinny one, Sean something or whatever, I didn't do something right. Craig run out of the field and take him left foot and boom, and let the ball travel 40 yards back of the net at his age. You have some people like that. You understand that? Them can't get on there and show you individual what they
Craig
can
is
do.
like that, man. Craig can kick the like you
Craig
can know Craig
lick the
players them
ball
different,
and
man.
wicked, and I said, whoa, look at this at his
Craig kick
age.
the ball like
Health
gunshot.
condition. What? You understand? But I'm saying, replace those assistant coach around Steve McLaren for that. Bring in the sharper minds, the one them go and you understand the fresh ideas, a fresh new thing.
Yeah,
fresh
that. But they not do that. They compromise the thing. Said we. All when we are bringing people, compromise the
other
thing.
point. Because the thing is we have a conflict of interest. Yeah, you understand? Because with conflict of interest, you cannot have a person that's in charge of the search committee that selects the coaches from senior national team all the way down, U20, U7, all the way, whatever. You understand? And then go on Jamaican national TV say and want to be the head coach while we have a current head coach.
That's a double trouble, Crystal. That be a double trouble.
That's disrespectful.
It's very disrespectful.
And this is the guy that hired you that's saying that,
No, listen, in the match now, right? Everybody, big controversy now. Why would you put a JPL player, a young player, in the fourth position? Is the fourth kick him to Ryan?
Last penalty, man. Last penalty. Are you senior man where have?
You understand?
Well, you know, the glory, the busy Atkins, the glory that headline in the newspaper.
Right?
It's crazy.
They say Cephas can't kick penalty or something. Somebody said something crazy like that.
No, man, but you have other players. And again,
but the conflict of interest.
Dacosta. One thing though, more will be.
You know I'm gonna forget, right?
Hold on. Because me know when you go down in a wrong way.
No, man.
No, man, just listen, man. Come and know you go up on a tangent.
You don't know what. You was wrong with
me know you go up and me know you like book, bro.
Give me my $200.
Me a save you, bro.
200 pounds. Sorry, pounds higher than dollar. Give me 200 pounds.
Coach.
Ryan, that's my problem and I have with me. I have the courage of my convictions and I say what's on my mind. I don't sugarcoat it. I don't think about, this one going to receive it this way and this one going to receive it this way. This is my opinion. This is what I saw. These are not facts, but it's my opinion. You understand? There was a conflict of interest because business decisions were being made in the substitution pattern Jamaican national team and in the selection of the kick order, I think, because they want to showcase players so they can sell them on. Because the person in charge of the coaches is in charge of is in conflict of interest and things like that. Even their appearance can't be there. Their appearance should not be there. And the actual actions are there. Outrageous, man. You cannot have it. That's why people talk about it.
No, I think you're right. It's outrageous. But what I found a little bit odd, and Ryan actually touched on this on his channel. I think you was there as well, Coach DaCosta. Why is anyone able to help me to make sense of this? Like, honestly, not trying to shake the room, not trying to be negative, but what was the purpose of Rudolph Speed traveling with the team? That's a genuine
question. So normally, his job is listen coach, and I was kind of surprised seeing him traveling with the team, but it's not the norm. Normally, two things. When you see him traveling, last time him travel with the team, when him have a letter to sack Tapa Whitmore, but the result going Tapa Whitmore favor. So his job is to make sure that things is running good on the ground, or the training, the preparation and all of that stuff. Because remember, he's the one who responds to iron and fire and coach. So he's supposed to looking at it and all of them stuff there. But he always a man say, this is why I say why some things don't make sense. And then when you hear the coach elaborate on Richard King, I know everybody knows Richard King for God, but me just feel like some agenda is pushing, right? 100%. Yeah, because the coach say Richard King no. Me not have a problem. Richard King, he need to leave because we know the competitive level of Richard King. But it clear sure say why Rudolph Speed travel. Is it that he's micromanaged? Is it that his present felt so the coach have to under some? I don't know. But normally his job is he no normally travel, right? Unless
can I ask one question and he can continue? Was he on the sideline?
No, I didn't see him on the sideline.
I didn't say if you see him. I find out from your local sources.
No, man, him wouldn't.
Ryan, okay, once again.
Listen to me now, coach.
What do you mean? You can't be guessing, Ryan.
Coach, him not be you must listen, coach.
Instead of using them, him over here guess.
No, coach, me know Speed, bro. Me know where him not got that be a face, bro, for go up on the bench. I'm telling you, me no need for ask, bro.
I didn't see him, to be fair. I mean,
He's not on the bench, man. Me have to be honest.
Thorough.
Coach, me I tell you, coach, him not because you know the perspective what
Crystal,
people think.
hypothetically speaking, so now you see, right? You have a person that is the owner of a football team in Jamaica, and he has a couple of his players who are on a national team now. That his job is to build them up and sell them on for a profit.
yeah.
That's a fact, right? No, he's there, and if he remember now, if Rudolph Speed is, if Marion Garden is there, Rudolph Speed is there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but coach, when me I say film job normal because me this is what me hear him always say. Him not travel up and down. Cause a guy with face Tina Crystal. Him not like take disrespect. So yeah, so
Very bossy piece of man.
yeah, so him not travel. So when me see him, it's up me I say about Rudolph Speed and Manuel. Me, Rudolph Speed, me not really travel with the national team, me not have to travel with the national team and all of them stuff there. So when me see him, me I say, yo, what this I know? I wonder if him a go sack the coach, because the last time him travel with the senior men's team, him bring a letter for sack Tapa in a Costa Rica, but Costa Rica, Tapa end up win the game in a Costa Rica, right? So him never end up giving the letter. But I'm saying no. So
you just open the next can of worm, Ryan. You just open the next can of worm.
Yeah,
it could have been an embarrassment. Nigeria beat Jamaica 5-0, and then him sack McLaren and him name himself coach.
Right, coach.
To be
and the thing is, you see the thing is now, Crystal, me can't rank for a coach that can start thing. Because Speed go open it up, go on sports. Him could have answered the question in a better way, Crystal.
Yeah,
He could have answered the question though. Me know, say him want to coach a national team. But when you're in that position, Crystal, you have to be careful how you answer to certain question. Because it can end up biting and that end up happening, So when people see him now up and down and all of them, people going to start think a bag of thing.
Yeah, he's opened up speculation. But
he puts himself in that position, Crystal. He said,
I know, but okay, so maybe I've confused.
But one more thing before I forget, Crystal, I'm sorry. Ryan, Rudolph Speed sued somebody in Jamaica, apparently, right? For what is it now? Slander, defamation of character or whatever, right? But the thing about slander is you can't sue somebody for slander if what they're saying about you is true.
But you have
once again now, if I say something, right, now you have to know, come and show me that no, I was up in the start. I didn't say Marion Gordon is not my liaison. I said, make sure this one, this and this, and I have to know. You have to prove that.
But that's what I'm saying, Coach Lacosta, that when I asked the question, the picture that I was referring to, he was nowhere near. I don't even think it was on match day. I think it was like before the game.
It's a team.
I saw him the one time I saw him in the video, Ryan. He's warming up. Remember this?
Yeah, we see the video. But the picture with Crystal attack, is the picture where the whole coaching staff, the management and everybody.
I'm just saying, I saw him in the video in the warm-up. You understand?
I don't think he would be that bare-faced. By the way, before I forget
not the warm-up for the match.
It's hard, man, because it's hard.
Because you have to remove the appearance of impartiality. The appearance is there. Even the appearance cannot be tolerated. You actually have a concrete conflict of interest. You stand to profit if the Cavalier players on this national team did well in this Unity Cup.
It's true. It's
fair. The number one is, of course, going to be the center back, Richard King. Because if I'm selling him off for big money, you understand?
Yes.
The appearance of the conflict is too great. Please take the Jamaican coaching job and resign the other one, or resign, but you cannot have both.
You can't have both. Mr. Lee, Mr. Germany, bring up yourself, Mr. Germany. 87. Big up yourself. I hope you guys are all in good health. I'm keeping my eye on the comment section. DC, big up yourself. DC Tycoon, big up yourself. Duckland Stennett, big up yourself. Nitro, big up yourself. Mr. Porter, big up yourself. And Danny Dread, big up yourself. Mr. Danny Dread. Farmer Jag? I'm so sorry, I butchered your name. BM, big up yourself. Garfield, big up yourself. Javari, that's a unique name. Big up yourself. And Big Deal Land, the biggest deal in the game. Big up yourself. I hope you guys are all in good health. Back over to what we were saying. So for me to believe in McLaren is showed me signs that I should believe in him. For me to really believe in him, and I'd be interested to hear what Ryan and also Coach Acosta has to say, and also you guys in the comment section. I think one of the things that I've always wanted from McLaren, and is yet to do it, but to be fair, when you come into a new environment, you can't hit people with an iron fist, because you're only going to turn the dressing room against you, and we know how that can pan out. So one of the things I actually want to see him do is be as heavy-fisted as he was with the England tenure with the Reggae Boyz, in the sense of, I think it's high time for him to be making those big calls, and I think the both of you have alluded to those big calls. So, you know, we've seen where some of the call-ups have come into the team and they're fitted like a glove at crime scenes. You know, a couple of the players to name off the top of my head is Damari Gray, Ethan Pinnock, John Russell. I know we're giving loads of high praises to John Russell. Ryan calls him Captain Burrell's son. I think that's a perfect name for him. Obviously, we all know why. Ravel Morrison, just, you know, scratching the surface of the players who have come into the fold. But also, we've seen a couple of other players who have come into the fold recently, especially where the Unity Cup is concerned. And for me, I think it's high time we look at Steve McLaren, and for him to be a bit of a heavy metal and to call those tough calls. He needs to be making those tough calls. I think it's time now for him to say, look, I'm going to be picking my best starting 11, irrespective of those big names, and dare I say, irrespective of longevity. We know that he can do it. If I bring up my shared screen once more, before I pass back over to Coach Acosta and also Ryan, just to remind us, so Gaffer, we saw a couple of those big calls there. Sound like a bit of a broken record, but you know, he wants basically showed the likes of David Beckham, Sol Campbell, to name a few, and also David James, the exit goal. These are big calls. I think the biggest call of the lot is no other than David Beckham. Irrespective of what you think of David Beckham at the time, till this day, David Beckham remains one of the most influential and biggest global superstar in the world. So saying that to say, if he can act someone like a David Beckham and your Sol Campbell, to name a few, then surely, no disrespect to our players, if you can ask your Beckham, your Campbell, your David James at time in their career, then surely he can do the same with the Reggae Boyz. No, it shouldn't be a tough ask, should it? Any one of you?
I mean, what are you asking me, Crystal?
In terms of the big calls there. So for me, for McLaren to move to the next step, or what do you want to call it, next phase of his project, I think from what we have seen over the last couple of games with the Unity Cup, I think for me is I want to see more of that. So it can't be a case of players from the, dare I say, the A team coming into the fold where the World Cup qualifiers and the Gold Cup is concerned, and they just automatically start. And I don't need to name any players, but we all know who those players are. For me, like I said, like when he made those big calls there where England is concerned, you know, showing David Beckham, Sol Campbell, and David James, the back seat. Surely he can do the same with our players. Or is it a case of, because where David Beckham is concerned, you can argue and say it went a little bit south because he didn't have to like bring back Beckham. Do you think that moment there with England, with his own failures with England, might prevent him from making those big calls with Jamaica?
No, Steve McClaren has been searching for players and trying to use a network to improve Jamaican thing. That's obvious from his base there in England and things like that, because he's not on the island most of the time. So he's definitely there in England, and hopefully he's working, trying to improve the thing, or by recruiting more and more players. Once again, now Jamaicans have to get used to the fact that Bosa, Bailey, so you don't call name, but I call name, Damari Gray, all these big players can be out for this next world. You understand that? If McLaren have the courage to do that, because if they're not, what you want a players to fit into a system, not just a big name. Now, if the big name players fit into your system and it work and it click, then they can play. Nobody's saying them players this name can't play for Jamaica, but if they become a ball stopper, and Crystal, with a ball stopper, the ball gets to them and then take 10 touches before they pass the ball. That's what I call it. There's no fluidity, no flow to it, not like we saw, especially some of the players that Jamaica scored on this past weekend and things like that. So what is, you know, you have to find line. I saw a Leon Bailey training video, and Leon Bailey looks strong, finishing with the right foot, the left foot, both feet, you understand that? Looking like him fit and ready to play, you understand that? And that's what we need. So when we Dixon and them pushing Leon Bailey now, right? Any nonsense, and then he out. But if Leon Bailey is still the boss of this Reggae Boyz team, who have the top market value? Who have the biggest market value?
Bailey right now, Aston Villa crack them out for selling for 25
But I'm just saying, right now, who have the biggest market value?
Leon.
Yeah, and normally, what kind of leader is Leon? Because normally up here in America, right, when you're the biggest ball and the most highest paid player on the team, right, your responsibility is to take care of the lower rungs, right? So like the JPL players that come to England, right, you know them really not enough money in the JPL, you understand that? But you know, as a big boss, and I use an example, not saying that, you know, as a leader, captain of the team, leader of the team, you pick up their expenses. You make sure them eat properly and this and that, and go shopping with them and things like that, because you know they don't really have it yet playing in JPL. But you lift them up because you are 50 million market, whatever value, whatever. As an example, and you understand that that's what a leader does, and that's what if Leon Bailey becomes the leader of this team, both on and off. That's an example of being a leader off the team, and come there and be unselfish and lead this team. Jamaica can go very far.
But that's what I'm talking about, though, Coach Acosta. Do you think he can do? Obviously, he's not going to give Leon Bailey, for example, the David Beckham treatment, because David Beckham was basically, like I said, shown the exit door. We're not talking about the same thing here. And then I believe it was Fabio Capello that came back and then recalled David Beckham. But what I'm saying is, you know, we all know about his failure with England, and we're not trying to make fun of his failure, but do you think those big calls, those bullish calls that he made with England might have, I don't know, might hold him back from doing something similar with Jamaica, although it's a different ball game here, and you know, decades have gone on. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, Chris. It's a different generation, though. What worked back then 20 years ago is not going to work now. I'm trying to tell you.
And we have to think about the culture with Jamaica as well, you know?
I alluded to it earlier. What will work is all these ballers have a brand now, and they know, and their manager and them agent and this and that, you have a brand, and you must, if you're not part, the World Cup is the biggest sporting event, you understand, in your sport, and you have to be a part of that. They have to say Leon Bailey for the Jamaica and things like that, so you know your sponsorship and everything else down the line add up to money in your pocket. And if you're not there, not a part of that, then you lose out on that, and your brand suffers. So a lot of these other players now are seeing that Jamaica result against Nigeria, how them play, that Jamaica actually have a chance. And what we mean by chance is qualify for the World Cup and then have a couple upset, go to round of 16 like the Reggae Girlz, or even further, you understand that, and become the darlings. The way Croatia did a few World Cups ago or something, you understand, a small country Nobody's expecting, but them have the players, them have the talent to do it. And that's why you're going to see more players coming into the Reggae Boyz now. That's my estimation. And all McLaren have to do is just roll out the welcome carpet for the right ones, and then be this mad scientist and mix it all together and put the proper chemistry together, because this thing is, that's why I've on record, I said, McLaren is not the right man for this job. You need a strong man for this job, because you have to, when Ryan tried to look a ghetto girl them in Jamaica back in the day, and she said, you have to be strong because you can control me, Ryan. When I'm on a weakness, when I'm weak, and run Ryan off back in Jamaica. You see him with the coach at Jamaica, it's tough. And the man, him have to stand up and him have to drape up to two other man them in the locker room. McLaren not going to do that.
No, but hold on. Before I continue, big up yourself, Mr. Brian, Mr. Bam Sports TV. Guys, please do make your way over to Bam Sports TV and do come back. If you're going to leave, do come back. Point I'm trying to make is please do subscribe to his channel. He does some wonderful live streaming. One of my gripe with you guys when you're watching Bam Sports TV is that you're not doing what you should be doing, which is to hit the like button. Look, I don't know Brian's day-to-day way of working, but as someone who's been on the ground or, out and about doing live content and creating content, guys, your day is basically wiped out. Your day is completely wiped out. So he's not getting much personal time with himself when he's doing stuff, live streaming at games. That basically means his whole day has come to an end. So show him some love, show him some appreciation. Not only subscribe to his channel, but hit the like button. It does not cost you a penny. All right. What do you have to say with regards to what Coach just said, Ryan?
Coach,
and by the way, Coach, before I continue, Ryan, by the way, Coach, I don't think that heavy metal Sir Alex Ferguson hair dryer treatment is going to work with this generation. This is why I say culture is important.
I agree with you.
Do that with these Jamaicans. It just not gonna work.
No, I was saying we work in the locker room, though. I would tell you now. Let me tell you something. You can't be a weakling for coach the Jamaican national football team. You cannot. I've told Ryan this 100 times. You have to be a leader of men, because you have to stand up in front of them, a lion there, and say, "This is what I'm gonna do." And when I'm get out of all your slap with them, or you get rid of them. You understand? But you cannot be soft. Coach. You cannot be weak.
Coach, it's not going to work.
No.
Hey, Crystal, him right, man.
Jamaica.
I know. I'm not saying don't do it. I am just saying for what we know of this Reggae Boyz squad, right? 60-man squad. What we know of the core players, what coach the custom is demanding, that's not going to go down well.
No. So your selection out of that 60 have to be the right that will fit your chemistry. And if you know you have a problem person that's not going to do what you want, get rid of them. Because remember now, you are playing for Jamaica. You're not playing for yourself. You're not playing for your contract or your club or someone like that. FC Force is playing for him club now. I don't give a damn pass, no pass, shoot, no shoot. You understand that? But now you're playing for Jamaica. Pick your head up and make the right football decision and square that ball and lead your team.
Fair enough. Also, guys, Dre Anyweather Sports, please do make sure that you subscribe to Dre Anyweather Sports. Another one of the guys there that's doing some wonderful content, as is the likes of Chemo. You saw Chemo's comment several moments back. Do keep your eyes out on these guys' respective channel, and make sure you support them, guys. It is one big community. Supporting my channel, supporting Ryan's channel. You can also extend your support over to those guys' channel. It's not going to put our channels back, okay? So spread the love, please, and thank you. Mr. Jackson, what do you have to say about that?
Yeah, I agree with Coach Lacosta. You have to be a leader of man in that locker room. Yeah, because I'm telling you, last couple coach, we're going to be friends and be nice with these players. They're not going to get the job done for you. You have to let them know, man. You have to let them know what time it is. But I think definitely this coach...
Is the man to do that, though, Ryan?
Eh?
Is the gaffer the man to do exactly what you guys are thinking of?
Right now, if him can do it, he must do it. Because we don't have no more option right now. So... him have the respect of the players them. Him have the respect of the players them. Because players like successful people, you know. They look up to successful people. So I think him got the years of the players, but one of the things where him a run him find himself in a trouble. Or him go about the bench Bailey and them argue.
Listen, that's a beautiful headache to have. I don't mind having that migraine. Good luck to him. Better him than me. Warren Webster, sir. Wow, what a last couple of weeks you've had. The white half of North London have won another European trophy. Big up yourself, Warren Webster, once more. And also congratulations on your daughter with her wedding. I hope that she lives to see many more years with her partner. I hope that they continue to grow as a family. And I hope they see multiple anniversaries. Okay, I hope you and your family are in good health, Mr. Warren Webster. You know what, Ryan? I hear what you and coach are saying, but listen, I can't see it going down well with this crop of players. But players do need to get dropped like bad habit. I will say that, no doubt. But good luck to him. You know, I think he can drop players. I think McLaren is capable of dropping players. I just don't think he's going to give them that hairdryer treatment, which is...
No. You have to treat players with respect and stuff, man. You have to treat players with respect. And he's a guy that the coach have to be, you know, because we are like that. We are human being where he back. Because if you listen to him have him World Cup qualifier squad already, right? But him have something to think about, right? What we want, right? It's a good idea. We want the coach to play who is in form, who is hungry, and that is Dixon and Cephas right now. They just give us something different going forward and also defense, right?
That's true.
Basically, they are not in form. They can come off the bench. Who knows? They come off the bench and change the game and stuff. Cause Crystal, we not just want to have a level, and that's what we find out in this nation, in this Unity Cup. We find out say, yo, the players them can play. The coach have to just trust and believe in them. Once you trust and believe in them, we play good in the Unity Cup. That's the way going forward, right? Just make the few tweak and get the team up and running.
Exactly, Ryan. That's what happened with Cephas. The first game, everybody beat it for being what? Selfish, right? Not many. And the second game, he pick him head up and then start square the ball. You understand? A change happened. What's it? Crystal, I can't hear you.
Coach, I mean, I have to... Hey, look, I love you guys, and I thank you so much for your support, but I'm going to put this gentleman right here in the middle because he has to answer this question because him keep on a run. I don't know why I'm a run, but this doesn't say Crystal. This says, Mr. Ryan Jackson, where is the head coach of the Reggae Girlz? I am searching and I can't find him in the USA. Is he lost? Mr. Jackson?
I don't know.
You should know.
I don't know what's going on. You guys have something. You guys can lead me. You guys can lead me and go and do my stuff.
I know. I need you to treat my women's team with the same respect you treat the men's team, sir.
You must have a whole heap of vlogger, man.
No, but I need you to do it. I can't go and tell no other vlogger. You know, me and you have a different type of bond. So I'm resting it on you, sir. Because you say you love the women's team. So I need you to show me that you love the women's team.
When the girls play in US coming up?
Yes, sir. In a matter of maybe 2 days' time.
Okay. Fair enough.
Bam is not the only person that's asked this question. But to be honest with you, Bam, banter aside, I actually can't answer this question for you. I really can't. And this is my gripe with this women's team. There's so much little information that's basic information. Ryan Jackson and Coach Acosta. It's like it's top secret. You ask a person what's going on here, and it's like you insult them. It's like they don't want to tell you. So it makes me wonder: is there something going on here? It's a basic, simple question. People are asking, "Where is the coach? Where is the coach?"
Interesting.
I'm watching videos and I don't see the coach in training. Is the coach in training or is the coach working remotely? And some of them I talk about. Like, where is the coach? Is he working remotely? When you ask questions, Coach Acosta, it's like you're taking something, it's like you're taking a personal tab. They're so sensitive.
Yeah, them call me sensitive.
No, they are so sensitive. It's like they feel like you're insulting them, you're attacking them. Bam is not the only person that's asked where is the coach. I can't answer that question. I can't answer that question for you, Bam. Like, I'm sorry, sir, but I can't answer that question, Ryan. And it's this is what I'm saying, Ryan. Like, banter aside, like, I do need you to. I'm not asking you to hit the women's team with a heavy fist, right? I'm not asking you that. I'm saying, show them the same level of respect that you show the men's team. And I mean it with the greatest bit of respect to yourself, Ryan, because you would be losing your head if this was Steve McClaren.
Jesus Christ.
Steve McClaren go and sit up in the stand and look at what's happening to him. If the man, at least him down the stadium, at least he's in the country. Wow. Steve McClaren go up in the stand because apparently he have eyesight problem. And look how people crucify him. And we don't know where our head coach is. We don't even know if he's in the USA. We just don't know. If you ask these questions, people want to get all petty and sensitive.
Interesting.
It's interesting, and you need to put a stop to it because that is foolishness. And I don't want nobody come tell me nothing about roll down speed, this and the administration that. No, I'm going to be looking at all of you. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Don't come tell me nothing about no administration because right now I'm looking at everybody, Ryan, and Coach DaCosta. I idiot thing that, you know, my heart and soul into this women's team, blood, sweat, and tears, and me can't answer a question as to whether my head coach is in the USA.
All of us have a responsibility. We all are at fault. And when you try to hold people to account, their supporters attack you. And you have to understand when a person attack you with facts and figures versus just attack you with buckle, chewing buckle for bossier. You understand that? And as a moderator, some people need to learn that lesson and filter them out and say, look at what the person said, and then you do that. And then if we all hold these people account, with the Reggae Girlz, we'll get results. But when somebody does something or does not do what they're supposed to, does not do their job, and you have people making apologies for them and things like that, and they said no, you hold your account.
Yeah, you have to be held to account. You're right, and it's nothing personal. But guys, every time you ask certain questions about this women's team, it's like you insult people. It's like you tell somebody about their mother. All of a sudden, people feel offended. Why? You don't feel offended when we criticize Mr. Speed. You don't feel offended when we criticize Dennis Strong, when we criticize Mr. Ricketts. But anytime we look elsewhere, Ryan and Coach, it's like you're telling people about their mom. They are so offended. They are so sensitive. No, you cannot have it both ways. You can't have it your way. You cannot expect. One of the main reasons why the JFF have changed their attitude towards the women's team, Ryan, is because of people like you and I. So how dare they turn around and throw piss in our face? How dare they? Them love us when we're beating down the federation. When we look elsewhere, is a problem. And that's not right, Ryan. And you know it. You know it's not right. Stop laughing. It's not funny.
I get to work, man.
You mean get to work? You have to get to work. You're not going to come and play with the women's team and then drape up the men's team. I'm not asking you to fist up the women's team, but if there is issues there, we deserve to know. When I want nobody come tell me nothing about no admin. I know the admin. I don't know the rest of you. I don't know the rest of you.
Well, Mr. Scott, I run more and live on the Costa now.
Because you run from the fire. I tell you, you see you, Ryan. You see
no, man. But me tell you already, you know.
You run go underneath your bed. You love tell people don't come from underneath.
No, man. Me cook and me bathe and me eat, me clean and me just want to eat and just.
Excuses, Ryan.
Huh?
Stop making up excuses.
No, man. I go get to work, man. I go fix things on the girl's side.
You better fix things. You better fix it. Because I not deal with no foolishness, Ryan. Sometimes I go work, and when time I did work with the previous job, Ryan, I am the first person in the office, 8 o'clock in the morning, opening up that office. And me done live stream 3-4 o'clock in the morning, and then people want to come mug me off. No, we are the fans. We're just as important as any other person close to this team. How dare you throw piss in our face? Yeah, ask them to question Coach Costa and them a come and go on like saying if you talk to them.
No, we are stakeholders. We are stakeholders in this thing. You understand? And Ryan, chef of the future. What chef of the future? What did you cook?
Me?
You say you just cook?
Yeah.
Kind of beans and rice you cook?
No, I cook as usual some lean beef, salmon,
You know the next thing when I
grilled
write,
chicken.
you know what else lean? The women's team look lean. So go don't come tell me
Yo,
nothing.
Jason, yo, brother.
I mean,
So man, bro, this is what me tell you. I need more people to take on the torch.
yeah.
No, Ryan, stop being a coward.
It's not a coward, but me need more. Me need.
The biggest voice. Stop telling me about you need more people.
Yeah. We know certain facts are still true. The JFF did not take the women's team seriously until $1 million check started rolling. After Stella Marley, they build up the team. You understand? And back the thing and then go fund me and stuff, right? They didn't know that the same checks would come from the women's team that come from the men's team. $1 million check, Crystal. You know that, right? And when them see that, that's what them side now. They have to take over the thing. And where name Lauren? What the coach name? Lauren Ryan.
Yeah,
Lauren Donaldson.
Lauren Donaldson. I just they want to control that. If Lauren wasn't going to be their puppet, what did they do? Got rid of him. And the thing fall apart. Because
Ryan, Mr. Coach, because it's a serious topic that we're talking about.
Yes.
The people in the comment section are genuine Reggae Girlz fans. We're not trying to cause no scene, not trying to cause drama. These are people who love the team and them are asked, where is the coach? We don't know nothing. We don't know nothing. Come on, man. If there was the men's team, head will have to roll. People will have to lift up, as Ryan says.
Once again, who in JFF is in charge of I know you have a coach and thing like that, but you have somebody, an executive that's actually in charge of the team that directs that team. Well, most federations run like that. Who in the JFF is a person running the Reggae Girlz? The same selection coaching committee with Speed pick the girls coach, that's pick the men's coach. That's what you're telling me?
All coach, Speed pick, brother. All coach.
What was the question
that Coach Lacosta asked just now?
Him asked who pick the girl coach.
Who is in charge of the reggae in any organization, right? You have a vice president in charge of the Reggae Boyz and a vice president in charge of the Reggae Girlz, and then you have the president who is mostly emeritus and really not, I'm just a figurehead most of the time. And the person runs the team like an executive. And the person, you have a committee that picks the coaches and stuff. He's not really that, but the person, the one that organizes that team, makes sure they get what they need and blah, 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 as the head of that. I want to know who's doing that job in the JFF. Who is in charge of the Reggae Girlz out of the administration in JFF?
You know what I think? I think that's an excellent question. And this is just my opinion. It's not a fact. I literally believe that the JFF have just left the Reggae Girlz to their own device. They're just like, okay, you want that, do your thing, and that's that. Here's a long rope, hang yourself. That's what I think is going on here.
Yes, the Reggae Girlz were a burden to them until they started to win and the $1 million check started to come in. Do you understand that? Now, all of a sudden, remember, the JFF was broke, flat broke, on restriction. And all of a sudden, the Reggae Girlz surprised them at the World Cup and won qualified the World of 16, which how much, Ryan, I forget how much $1 million they earned from making a round of 16. I forget what it is. And that's real money coming into the JFF. They say, oh, we can spend the girls' money just like we're spending the Reggae Boyz' money too. So you understand? They were not serious about it until the Reggae Girlz had success. Then they tried to take over the thing from Stella Marley and Lauren Donaldson and things like that. And now it's a whole buck up. And now we want something. We want accountability now. Who is in charge of Reggae? Let's get somebody competent that's going to make sure and assure that they are proper leadership leading into in the future here.
Tomorrow we're going to some information. May I make some call tomorrow during my lunchtime? See?
Best wear your mask, cause they might
shit. Oh my God. Guys, I have to leave you guys. I've got to put my rice down.
You your rice?
Yes, man.
I thought you was cooking your rice all along.
I cook all of my meat and all of my stuff and I get distractive. Yeah. Yeah, I'm ready to go eat, you know, and
Right.
Listen, I think we're
Somebody, hey Ryan, somebody says Elaine
you
Walker
don't
Brown.
want to talk.
It's real Walker Brown around thing. Yo, people, tomorrow, sometime this week, we figure out what I go on to the Reggae Girlz.
Yeah, I will be there. Don't you worry about that, Mr. Jackson. I will be there. You know, this is what I think you're right. You know, Jason Guna. Big up yourself, Jason Guna. Make sure you subscribe to Jason Guna TV, guys. And also subscribe to CC Sports Lab as well. Their names is on screen. Their names in the comment section. Look for their names and subscribe. I think Ryan's been living in Canada for far too long. Plus, you know, he's in his 30s now. So, you know, it could be a case that he's just old and call up. I don't know.
Old man that, man. Old man that.
All and call up him can't manage the women's
Elderly.
team. So, you know,
Yeah, man.
one bag of chatting, he can't manage the women's team, but it is what it is, people. We probably got this a couple more minutes until I close off. Germany
Can't believe my cook. I want to get this chat. I have this something in a man.
Yeah, because you're trying to put
Yeah,
on
I
this
did cook some pumpkin rice and guess what happened? I share out my package all of my lunch for the week. And for God's sake, I have to eat my dinner now and I need to put on some rice. So that happened. Because once my lunch share for work, you know, everything there is, you know, we think about it, you know.
Crystal, I have
Yes,
a very
sir?
important question.
Yes.
Did Ryan wash him rice?
Then I will make the bridging.
Oh.
Hey, you need glasses like Steve McLaren, you know. Yeah, you need glasses, brother.
How much time you wash your rice?
3 times, brother.
Once too much.
Well, Ryan says, guys, that he's going to make some calls to find out what's going on with
We'll make a call tonight still, but
if you say so, sir. If you say so.
no, man. Serious thing, man. Because sometimes put some mixed vegetable in rice, you know?
Well, you know, a couple of people are saying English said I went on JFF live the other day to find out about the game against USA and could not find nothing. I don't see many interviews for the girls as the men.
What the girl them need to do? What I think need for balance with the JFF, I think they need to put more people in place for the girls, because it can be when the boys are playing and it's so close, the girls get overshadowed. Right? Because you know most people want the men's football and thing, but they need to get a team of people with the media team to push out video. Too many times have a big national team like that. And less information about it. So I do agree with it. I do agree. What I say. I think.
Oh, Jesus.
But I call for the rest of vlog of them, Bridget. I call for the rest of vlog of them. Bam Sports and them and them.
Bam says the VP, as in the vice president in charge of the women's football, is Miss Elaine Walker Brown. She's also head of delegation for this trip to the US. So Ryan, maybe you could phone your dear friend, Miss Elaine Walker Brown. We know you have lovely.
No, Crystal. She drape him up in Canada.
She can drape him up again because
yes, I'm fingering him face. I'm boxing him 2 times. I said, listen, you're talking about
him face, man. Just drape him up.
Hey, that can start drama, you know.
Don't cry. Be tough.
Seriously, guys. What we're seeing right now, and this is why I'm saying this. Ryan knows. That's why Ryan was being cute and trying to.
No, but just tell me alone can't do it, you know.
You can do it. You do it for the men's team. Don't tell me you alone cannot do
it. Alone can't do it. We need some more. We need some more fight. And that's why.
Yeah, but Ryan, me alone can't do it. This is my try buff me because I'm standing by myself. You know, so never try
Oh,
choke
God.
me because I stand by myself.
Yeah,
I
man, we're gonna need Jesse going on for more than man, Virgin. Cause what if, cause right now, you know, what if Jamaica gonna qualify? Who are gonna take over my reign when we got?
don't worry about that. Stop trying to move the goalpost. We're talking
That's the
about the
thing, you know.
women.
We need more, the more voices, and the more powerful we are, Virgin. We need to find back that, brother. We need to find back that. We need to find back video after video. As one done, another one come in. As one done, another one come in. As one done, so we are talking on the same topic 4, 5, 6
Okay,
times.
well, that's the next thing that you guys need to respect the women's team the same way you respect the men's team. You guys can't just be loving up the men's team and not showing, because this is how, I'm not saying there's something, as Ryan said, spooky. I'm not saying something spooky is going on, but spooky things will go on when nobody is watching. Yeah. And one of my gripe with women's football is people based on observation feel like XYZ is okay because it's just women's football. It's Jamaica, no one's watching. That's not a fact. That's just my observation. And I don't want that to be a reality. So you've got to be on your P's and Q's when it comes to the women's team, just like how you are with the men's team. That's all I'm saying, guys.
I agree with you.
I think the outsource, the benefactors should do better. The Reggae Girlz media should try and cultivate a good relationship with Elaine Walker Brown. In Jamaica, you can catch more with sweets. That is true, man. I don't know how they're gonna do that one, mate. I don't know how they're gonna do that one. If you look at the team like Mexico beating USA now in the women's game, and we can't remember we just beat Mexico and now they're beating us, and that's what I am saying. But people like Ryan don't want to talk about it, so I am the bad guy. I am the bad guy. I'm the lone soldier. I can't be the lone soldier in this. If you guys leave me standing as the lone soldier, I'll stop talking football altogether. I'm not going to be the lone soldier, so I'm dragging you along with me, Ryan. And if you want to drag along the couple of the other guys, CC Sports, BAM Sports, Chemo, Dre Anywhere Sports, Jason Guna, I'm sorry, guys. I'm not trying to call you guys out of bad faith. It's all love at the end of the day, you know?
Crystal, let me ask you a question. How many of the people just named did a live watch along for the Jamaica-Nigeria men's match? That's the same amount that should have the live watch along for the Reggae Girlz match.
Yeah, you tell them.
When we get to that level, you understand? They should make that's the kind of energy that they need to bring. So you need to corner all of them. With Ryan, your help, corner all of them and make sure all of them get up that kind of energy and coverage to the Reggae Girlz match.
Yeah, they should. They should. I mean, I think this person speaking about Izzy, as in Izzy Gruz, if I'm not mistaken. She's good. She's been playing football. She's back in the women's national league in Ireland. So she's good. She's back. But no, yeah, Ryan, you need to do better. You're my friend, but I have to tell you, as a friend, you need to do better.
Yeah, man, sometimes you have to sacrifice certain things, because remember me, I become more a family man and kids, and I try to put things in place. At the time when we did have a year ago, I really have it again. But as I say, I'm going to do my best.
Stop it. Stop moving the goal. Stop coming up with an excuse. What you going like I'm alone a family coach the Costa?
Yeah, man.
I know that.
Is Gongo Peasy using Ryan? Wait.
Coach.
We see draw something on the refrigerator.
We eat simple, brethren. We eat simple, bro. We don't complicate things. We eat simple. I'm a normal guy. I will just eat normal. Simple.
We got 4 more minutes, guys. Big up the Reggae Boys and Girls Supporters Club. They're doing some unbelievable work when it comes to drumming up that atmosphere inside the National Stadium, guys. Please do head over to their YouTube channel. You can see it there, Reggae Boys and Girls Supporters Club. Hit the subscribe button and also hit the like button on any content that you see, please and thank you. So comment. We're about to close off on the show,
guys. What I want you guys to do for me, right? What I want you guys to do, make sure you guys see my face, man. Listen, Crystal is the only females in the business doing football content, both men and women. I would like the man them support Crystal more, not when me over here or Coach Lacosta over here. Right? Support her, man. She's the only females in the thing. You have to show support, man. You understand? Show support people. Encourage her. Put her up on top too. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. Different perspective, different priorities coming from Crystal, and that's what's needed. In a different perspective, different priorities about the thing. And not the bandwagon them come lately when the Reggae Girls have big success now, none of them come run and jump. No, let's start from the beginning here now. Show your support, watch it, watch along, watch our show, comment, subscribe, like the thing, everything. That's real support, you know.
Thank you. But hey, look, thank you to you guys for showing me some love and support. I told Ryan, I was like, look, I'm only doing this for 30 minutes. I was only gonna stream for 30 minutes because I was pretty much demanded to stream. So
not with Ryan and Da Costa and the thing.
No, for myself, literally for myself. No, but I've enjoyed it. I said 30 minutes and it's almost 3 hours. I did not bargain.
And you know, Crystal, that's what happens with me and Ryan on his channel all the time. We don't look up his 3 hours, 4 hours gone, and things like that. And the people, the energy still in the comment section. And man, I'm still bring the energy. And I still
hey guys, I need a video for upload. I need to go do my stretching. I haven't stretched for a morning. I need to get my routine. I need to go form my body ready for prepare for work. It's not about just showing up. You know, so I forgot to do my stretch and all of them things. While my rice I cook, I go do some stretching, foam out, and while I have another video upload, I know it's going to piss off a lot of people, but I don't care. It's just the truth.
Well, hey, can someone subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so yet? I'm about 51. Hear this, guys. I think I am 51 subscribers away from 5,000. How crazy is that?
Crazy.
Can we do that?
If you haven't subscribed again, subscribe, man.
Please, okay? Even if it's just one of you, make it 50 subscribers away from 5,000. So, like I said, guys.
You know, I get an invite, Coach Da Costa.
What's that?
I get an invite, you know, to be a part of the national team. What do you think about that?
You have been invited to the national team?
Mm-hmm.
The girls or the boys? See?
Excuse me, only the girls. What do you mean by boys? What may I do?
We have Reggae Boyz and you have Reggae Girlz.
Reggae Girls.
It's a brand name.
Yeah, Reggae Girls.
That's probably why he doesn't want to,
Yeah.
You think Elaine Walker Brown?
Coach Da Costa?
Yes. You think Elaine Walker Brown is going to allow him anywhere near them, the Reggae Girls?
That will never happen. I'm just kidding, man. But anyway, guys, I have to go and do some. I need to start sleep at 10. Okay, so see you guys. Okay.
All
right. Good day.
Yeah, love you, Crystal.
We beat you, but
Fradiola. Look later. Tomorrow, catch up Fradiola.
Yeah, man. Go on. Me and Crystal can take over.
All right.
Push up in face so that people have camera. Crystal, we have to announce you the new queen of the YouTubers. Ryan has abdicated his throne. No. Let me finish.
Okay, sir.
Ryan cannot be the leader of all Jamaicans, far home and abroad and foreign. You know why?
Why?
Because Jah would never give the power to a bald head. I'm not joking. Well, Crystal, it's been fun talking with you, man. But like I said,
Thank you.
A lot of people don't have the courage of their convictions to say what they want. And when certain people started taking people to court for defamation and slander and thing, you know, I didn't look upon me and said, I said, no, I'm still going to talk the truth because once again, slander is written, slander is spoken, libel is written, right? And you cannot sue somebody for slander or libel if what they're saying about you is true. If I say Crystal is in England right now doing a blog, Crystal can't go to court and say, Sue is lying on me. No, it's true. You were here and we can prove it that what they're saying about you is true. The same thing about the conflict of interest when these coaches and thing and other thing in Jamaica. And until you fix that, you don't know if the thing is going to be pure. You have the coach McLaren now, have a man that same want him job, and then he's the one pushing his players. How can you coach in that environment? We have to clear up the environment so a coach can coach.
100%. It's just so much to think about, you know. But I love this women's team dearly. I've been covering it for X number of years, and sometimes the emotions get the better of me because it's coming from the heart, you know.
Let's do a watch along then, Crystal, so we can talk about it. Let's do a watch along.
Yeah. Most certainly. But yeah, it's just very frustrating. But my Mac's about to die on me, guys. So I'm going to have to love you and leave you. I'm literally about to end the stream. Thank you so much for rocking with myself and Mr. Elias Jackson and also Coach DaCosta. I'm going to close off because my battery's going to die. Thank you so much. Please hit the like button and the subscribe button. You know how it goes. Until next time, take care.
All right, bye-bye.
I'm John Barnes, and you're watching Talawa TV with Crystal Davis.